ESPN
102.5 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's Stillman and Company. Delivered by TriStar Moving. TriStar Movers with 5-star service. With Jared Stillman on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Stillman and Company is delivered by TriStar Moving, ESPN 102.5 The Game, streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, thanks to the law offices of Amanda Gentry. It is a Fireball Hot Take Friday, and I got to give a shout-out as we start the show to my friends at Focus. Sparkling water with a spark. I've been talking about Focus for a couple months now. You can get it at Publix. My friends over at Best Brands who distribute Fireball also going to start distributing Focus, which we're very excited about, but that's not the shout-out. $160,000 they raised in their fundraiser. I know some of our audience participated in that as well, and I want to thank everybody a part of that. But $160,000 raised by my friends at Focus and ESPN Louisville for the Kentucky tornado relief victims. And I know we're going to need way more help and way more time and way more money and way more everything, but I just want to give a shout-out to my friends at Focus to start the radio show off with that.
That's huge. That's amazing.
And again, you can start drinking Focus today, drinkfocus.com. Now, I want to start on this. We're going to have a lot of football today on the show, but I want to start on the Predators game last night. First of all, who called it last night?
You did, and I do have to be honest. I was like, Jared, you're being too cute with it. Like, don't think that too much into it. Don't think, by some sort of miracle the Preds can pull it out. No, because it felt like, even though the Avs were short-staffed as well, I was like, the Preds just don't have enough personnel. There's no way they're going to win that game. And they did. And I was there last night, and it was a blast.
I was telling you, I called it last night. I said, I don't want to hear the crying about all the guys who are hurt, or COVID. I don't want to hear crying about all the coaches who are out. They can win without them. I don't care about any of that. I just want to see, this is me, I just want to see the Predators go out there and play. And if they lose, they lose, and if they win, they win. But every time the Predators are faced with a situation like this, the Predators usually win the game. They did it in 2016. They did it in the fall of 2016 when they all got sick with the flu or food poisoning or whatever it was, Michael Jordan, who knows. And they brought up a bunch of guys from Milwaukee, and they beat the defending Cup champion Penguins. They did it last year when they played at defending Cup champion Tampa Bay, and they were incredibly short-staffed. This was March of this year. They did it last season where they went up there with a bunch of guys you'd never heard of off of the taxi squad like Tanner Jeannot, and they went in there and they beat the Lightning on a Monday afternoon. And so yesterday felt like kind of something similar where all these guys were out. And you heard what Crispy said. Who's going to step up? Who's going to step up? Not the guys from Milwaukee who's going to step up. Who are the main guys that are going to step up? Forsberg had 2 goals last night. Sissons had a goal last night. Jeannot had a goal last night. Those are your guys. Plus, when you got 74 in net the way he's playing right now, you can win any game. I don't care if Jared Stillman is starting out there on defense. You can win any game. Now, I will say this. The Colorado team was incredibly decimated yesterday. And we knew that they were going to be down skaters going into the game because of COVID, but we didn't think they were going to lose their starting goaltender 5 minutes before puck drop. We didn't think that they'd be out without Cole Makar, who might be one of the best defensemen, if not the best defenseman in the NHL. So they were short-staffed, and then they lost their goalie, and they lost Cole Makar. And that's a really tough ask. So it's not like I was making it out to be yesterday. In 1987, the Dallas Cowboys during the NFL strike had every single player cross the picket line. The Washington, then Redskins, had an entire team of replacement players, and they beat the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. It wasn't exactly like that. But they did find a way to win. They coached well enough with Carl Taylor. Go ahead and give him a dub. He's going to be coaching tonight if they play. I got to be honest with you. This is the bigger story. And I want to congratulate the Predators on what they did yesterday, and I want to talk about the game, but that's not the real story I want to start off on today, which is the wild, wild west of what's going on with the NHL and what's happening with COVID. I got an email from the Predators like an hour ago, and I'm sitting there looking at my phone, and it says that the Predators game against the Florida Panthers on December 23rd has been postponed. I'm like, December 23rd? What day is it right now? It's December 27th. We're already at December 23rd? What? And I guess that's what we're living in right now, is some teams are shutting it down. Yesterday, we heard Darren, Donick, and Chase as we were coming into the arena to get ready for the show, and we heard them talking to Elliot Friedman, and it was like, cancel it, cancel. Why are they not canceling the game tonight? Why are they playing the game? The Predators don't have a coach. The Predators don't have any players. What are they doing? And I figured, look, the NHL's just decided, hey, no, we're playing. I just figured that was what the league was doing, just like the NFL was saying, hey, no, we're playing. I talked to somebody with the Predators the other day, and I asked them about Thursday night's game, and I think this was like Tuesday or Wednesday. And they said, look, all we know is we're playing. But did you see, and I read this in The Athletic this morning, Colorado had the option last night after we had left the arena. We get off the air 1 hour before the game. Like, when I'm leaving the arena, if it's a game that I'm not staying for, there are cars that are pulling into the arena, and I'm the one going against the grain going out of the arena. Mm-hmm. So after I had left the arena, like 20 minutes after I left the arena, Colorado had the option to not play last night. Did you see that?
I heard that this morning.
They
had the option to not play, and they still chose to play.
Which I can't believe they did play. I think it was kind of like, look, man, if we don't do this now, we're going to have to make another trip out here, and we're going to have to do this, we're going to have to do that, so let's go ahead and
We're
play.
here, let's just do it.
But why didn't the Predators get that option? What am I missing here? Like, all I heard was Darren, Donick, and Chase, as I'm coming in, talking about how can they make them play, and they shouldn't be playing, and what's going on, and why are they playing, and the NHL is going to make them play, and then the NHL gives Colorado the option to not play? But what? What? Titans are playing the Steelers this week. Titans, you want to play? No, I don't. Give me another week to get Derrick Henry healthy. I don't want to play this week. Push it back. Can we push the Titans season back 4 weeks? Just so that Derrick Henry can come back and the Titans can get the number 1 seed and the Titans. Now, let's make the Patriots play tomorrow against the Colts. But let's not have the Titans play. That doesn't make any sense. And that's what the NHL's doing. And yesterday, I told you all, I said 2 days ago, I started the show, I'm like, I'm tired of talking about COVID. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm vaccinated. I got my booster shot. I hope that, that I'll be okay. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. I mean, I would encourage everybody to get it, but everybody's making their own choices anyways. There's nothing I'm going to say that's changing it. But I'm tired of talking about, the NHL should do this or that. But these leagues are giving us no choice. Originally, it was the variant that was giving us no choice, where guys were getting infected at this crazy rate. So it's like all these teams have all these guys that have COVID, and so they can't play. Well, now I'm looking at these leagues, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I mean that like with a question mark. Normally when you say, what are you doing? It's like the coach for the Chargers yesterday that went for it on 4th and goal on the opening drive from the 5-yard line. That is a, what are you doing? Where there's like a little disdain to that. I mean this with these leagues. What are you doing? So the Avalanche play last night, but now they're shut down until after Christmas? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, so the Predators who just played the Avalanche, who you just shut down, are now in Chicago going to play the Blackhawks tonight. But the Florida Panthers, the Avalanche, and the Senators, they're shut down. What? Or Calgary or whoever it is. What makes them special? Why are they shut down? The Predators have 7 guys that are out. It wouldn't surprise me if another one had to go out of the lineup today. So what's the NHL doing? Like, what's the plan here? And I understand that, like, they're talking with their medical people and they've got the Players Association involved, and I hear all this. But, like, I don't feel like anybody is giving any clarity to how they're actually processing what's going on and what's fair to the sport. The Cleveland Browns game is going to be postponed tomorrow. They're supposed to play the Raiders. That game is going to be postponed to Monday. And apparently 2 other games, the Rams and Washington, and whoever they play, those games are going to get moved to Tuesday. But why? Like, are guys supposed to magically be healed by Tuesday? What's the point? Why specifically Monday for one game and Tuesday for another game? I don't know the answer to this. And it's like, what's fair to these teams and what's fair to the league? Like, I'm sure the Predators wouldn't mind shutting it down right now and getting everybody healthy or whatever it is. But then there's a part of me that's like, the entire NHL is vaccinated. So why are they not just playing and just calling guys up? And then there's the salary cap element of this with hockey, where Colorado had to go into the game down 2 skaters because they can't add anybody with the salary cap, and then they lost 2 more. And I'm like, that sounds like a stupid rule. Last year we had taxi squads. So whenever a guy got COVID, if a guy did get COVID, you just brought somebody else off the taxi squad in. Now it's like Colorado can't bring somebody because they're all the way out in California, their minor league team. They can't bring somebody because they don't bring extra players, which again doesn't make any sense to me. They don't bring extra players. And even if they did, they can't play because of the salary cap? What? Like these sports leagues, it's not making any sense. I saw today, TD Garden in Boston. The Canadian teams, let me just state for the record, the Canadian teams can do whatever they want. I am not versed in what's going on in Canada. I do not know how the government operates in Canada. I do not know what their vaccine rollout is in Canada. I do not know how the Canadian people feel. So my thoughts on Canada, whatever they want to do at the border, that's their business. So let's leave that be. But I saw something today out of Boston where TD Garden may have to restrict capacity at Bruins games. And I'm thinking, I'm reading through the article, and it says that in order to attend a Bruins game, you have to show proof of vaccination or have a negative COVID test. So then why are we reducing capacity? And I mean this with a question mark. And Caroline, back me up on this. Like, I'm a pretty COVID safe person. I am not one of these people that in April of 2020 was like, it's my right not to wear a mask. I wasn't one of those people. But like, what are we doing? And again, I mean, what are we doing? Not like mad at people to say, why are we shutting down hockey? But like, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Why did we not shut the Predators down yesterday? Why did we not give the Predators the option of not playing the game, but we gave Colorado the option to not play the game? That sounds like a bunch of bull crap. I mean, look, and it's going to get to the point where somebody, and you know this, somebody is going to use COVID as an excuse or try to use it as an excuse in order to get players healthy that are actually hurt and not sick back for a game. I told you yesterday, we got the people on one side of this that are like, cancel, or suspend sports until whatever. And we got the other people that are like, who cares if you're infected, play. And I'm not really there on like either of the extremes. But if they decide that they want to postpone football for a couple of weeks, I'll do it because that can give Derrick Henry more time to get back in the lineup.
But you're not going to fake COVID cases to do that.
No, but if the league said, hey, would you like to push it back 2 weeks?
Sure.
Like the Clay Travises of the world would go nuts and be like, no, absolutely not. We're not, whatever. I'd say, sure. Go ahead. Take 2 weeks. Take 2 weeks for the NFL. And then let's play football again and let's, Derrick Henry will come back for the end of the season. But that's not like what I'm really asking here. What I'm starting the show off of, what I'm asking is for the average person, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't even work in healthcare, so I'm not like a nurse. I'm not even like a nursing student. I'm none of this. I was a B and C student in science at USN, and I know what I was at USN. But for the average person like me, why are you doing these things? Can you explain that to me? Like, that's all I'm asking is, can you explain why moving the Cleveland game to Monday night makes sense where you want to move the other games to Tuesday night? I'm not telling you don't make up your own rules. Make up your own rules. It's your league. But I am having a hard time following how we got from this time yesterday where it looked like the Predators were about one COVID test away from putting a popcorn vendor onto the ice, and where Colorado unilaterally got to make a choice before puck drop last night, saying whether or not they were going to play? How do we get there? How does, somebody tell me, how do we get there? How do we get to make these choices? Like, where are they coming from? Or if they want to reduce capacity at the arena, why? Because if everybody who goes to TD Garden in Boston has to be vaccinated or they have to show proof of a negative test, like, doesn't that kind of, I mean, if everybody there is basically vaccinated, then the odds of hospitalization of the people that are there are like, are not zero, but they're very, very low. And if they're very, very low, and again, I'm speaking as someone who has no freaking clue, but if they're very, very low, then you're not risking overrunning a hospital by having a game at the arena, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Because right now, it looks like the league is just doing what they're doing is how I picked a college, which I've said many times. Going to Louisville was the best decision I ever made. But when I have kids, if I have kids, I hope that they go like a different route, which is that they actually like think about their college decision and they don't just say, that one sounds good, because that's what I did. And that's what it looks like the NHL is doing, where it's like, that sounds good. Let's just do that. Can I get an explanation on any of this? I'm not getting any explanations from anybody. It's like Adam Schefter just tweets out, the NFL has decided to move the game to Monday. Why? Am I allowed to ask why? Like, I feel like one thing, and again, I've been a very COVID-safe person the entire 2-year period we've been doing this. But I feel like the one thing that, like, people are having a hard time doing is actually explaining why decisions are being made. That's all I ask. For example, the Major League Baseball Players Association in 2020 wanted to move the season back and play the World Series in November. And Major League Baseball said no, because their medical experts said cases were going to rise around Thanksgiving, which is true, and because the TV partners wanted baseball in October and they didn't want baseball in November. Well, that makes sense to me, so I get it. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. And I don't feel like I've got any explanation about any of this. And again, I'm not one of these people that's trying to, look at your explanation and read through it and find one word and then go on Fox News and complain about it. I'm just trying to understand what's going on. And I just don't think the leagues are doing a good job of communicating that to us. And I don't know why they're not willing to do it. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. I'm sure you got something to say on this too, which we will do, Caroline. Mm-hmm. I just ranted too long about that. Can I just get like an explanation? Like, does everything have to be top secret? Like, can you say, hey, the reason that we've decided to shut down the Colorado Avalanche are because they don't have enough players and the league has to agree with the Players Association to change the salary cap structure to, okay, fine. But can I at least just get an explanation? Not just an email. Hey, the game in how many days is December 23rd? What is that?
Like 6 days?
6 days. The Predators game in 6 days is canceled, Jared. Can you explain to me why? Can you help me out a little bit? That's all I'm asking. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll get your reaction on that as we're going. We're not going to spend the entire hour on this because I do want to get to the football game last night because I got a lot of thoughts from it. Stillman and Company, Fireball Hot Take Friday, 615-737-1025 live from the Game Studios, presented by Hillside Medical Clinic. It's ESPN 1025 The Game.
Roman Yossi with the score. Did you want dessert tonight?
The Nashville Predators overcome the COVID odds and beat the Colorado Avalanche 5-2.
Yeah, it's huge to get the win. I mean, we came together. We played hard for each other.
They look to continue their winning streak tonight in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Pre-game at 6:30. Puck drop at 7:30 on Smashville's Best Sports Talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is here to serve you. Is your AC or heating unit old and inefficient? Is it breaking down yearly? Now is the time to replace it. Waiting can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Just like everything, the cost of a new AC unit is rising. Effective January 1st, all manufacturers are increasing prices up to 10%. Get ahead of the game and call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, offering 60 months, no interest financing, and 10-year parts and labor warranty on all new units. Schedule now at springhillac.com or call 615-778-8855.
Shine down in 3, 2, 1. Cut the car!
The hottest rock band on the planet, Shinedown. May 4th, Bridgestone Arena.
It's about to get
with special guests, The Pretty Reckless and Diamante. Shinedown. Tickets are on sale now at the box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by 102.9 The Buzz, Nashville's rock station.
Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House invites you to join them for all this year's college football bowl game and playoff action. Bama, Cincy, Georgia, or Michigan. Who will win it all? Boomba's has countless big screen TVs and a huge video wall to watch it all go down. Enjoy their 2-time award-winning best pizza in America, featured on the Food Network, and 100% crafted for you. Wash it all down with their award-winning happy hour with $2 Boom Brews and select domestic pints. Locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville. Pizza, beer, sports. See you there, Nashville.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmitt's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. QC Kinetics, 249-4024.
Here we are again, Finn, stocking up for the big day at Porvu.
That's right, Jolly. 10,000 square feet of wine spirits and over 1,500 domestic import and craft beers with a massive array of canned cocktails. Porvu has an amazing selection.
Porvu makes it easy to stock the sleigh with everything we'll need for our holiday parties and even last-minute gift ideas.
But will it all fit in the sleigh?
Not to worry, Finn. I placed our order on the online Porvu app, and I've arranged for curbside pickup at no charge. They even offer home delivery for the rest.
What you getting for Trixie? Hard to find small batch, special selections, tequila?
Yes, Trixie loves that tequila, just like Blitzen.
That's how he got his name, huh?
Ooh, party supplies. Everything for our elf soiree. And Porvu always gives us 10% off wine by the case.
What are we getting the big guy?
Well, after a long night of flying around the world, he likes to kick back with a good stogie. Porvu has a walk-in humidor full of fine cigars.
Look, a tasting bar.
Porvu, Indian Lake Boulevard in Hendersonville.
At Houston Clinic Orthopedics, their physicians are specialty trained orthopedists that treat injuries and disorders of the upper extremities. Not all painful conditions require surgery. Therefore, their physicians look for non-surgical solutions first. Depending on your condition, you can be treated with a brace, splint, anti-inflammatory medications, rehabilitation, or if necessary, surgery. To experience world-class orthopedic care, visit tn.houston.com, where experience matters.
Interact with Stillman and Company. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
I guess technically in the last 24 hours, you guys have had 3 coaches. You guys are losing all these players. All these guys are coming up at the last minute. Have you ever, in your hockey life, had any experience as bizarre as this that you can remember?
No, not there. No, probably not. I mean, I think for anyone, it was, just the whole day, I think. And then even before the game, there's new news of Colorado players not playing. It just seemed like one after another. And it was definitely, it was weird. I mean, we were just kind of sitting there and just, like I said, it was kind of out of our control, but I don't think any one of us ever went through something like that. It was definitely something I think we've never experienced.
There you go. That was Roman Yossi. By the way, breaking news, the NFL has officially, on this Fireball Hot Take Friday, updated their schedule. The Patriots and Colts tomorrow. That game going to be at 7:15. Then most of your slate on Sunday. Titans still at noon against the Steelers. Monday, 5 o'clock. So at 4 o'clock, so we'll be on the air during the start of the Vegas Raiders at Cleveland Browns. That game will be on NFL Network. Vikings and Bears will be at 7:15. Then Tuesday, you'll get the Rams and the Seahawks, or Washington, Philadelphia. Those games at 6 o'clock. I don't know which game our market will get. So there you go.
It's kind of fun.
Here's the line that bothers me.
More football.
Here's the line that bothers me. We have made these schedule changes based on medical advice and after discussions with the NFLPA, as we are seeing a new highly transmissible form of the virus this week, resulting in a substantial increase in cases across the league. We continue to make decisions in consultation with medical experts to ensure the health and safety of the NFL community. What was the advice? Why Tuesday? Why Tuesday? That's all I'm asking, is just tell us. Like, we're not stupid. And, some people are, I get it, but I struggle with this. I struggle with the NHL has decided to shut down this team, and this team will reduce its capacity in the stands by 50%. Okay, why? Well, we've talked to the medical experts, and the medical experts, what'd they say? Just tell us. That's all I want to know.
I do wonder if there was a certain time period, which it would be nice if they explained that, but if there was a certain time period of 48 to 72 hours was recommended by the health professionals, so we decided to, would go that route.
Maybe, but just tell me. I don't know.
But also, who's to say that things won't get worse in those 48 hours? Knock on wood, but things have really gotten worse over the past couple of days in terms of positive cases, both in the NHL and the NFL. So who's to say that there are more players that are going to test positive by the time Tuesday comes?
And I don't care about any of that. See, here's the thing that's wild.
But it sounds like the league does.
But here's what's wild, is that most people's feelings on this stuff are all based upon their ideological beliefs or whatever they care about, right? And I have never been this way. I have never put myself first in this of saying well, I think this is a big deal, so it should be a big deal. I saw somebody in the text line that said, drop all the protocols. Well, they're not going to do that. And I know they're not going to do that. I just want an explanation, not well, maybe this is what they thought. That doesn't do me any good. Somebody told me, well, the Predators were able to adjust for their situation, but the Avs weren't able to adjust to their situation. I'm because they didn't want to go over the salary cap or whatever? That's not a reason that you give them the choice to be able to cancel the game and not you. I want some explanations, and I think we are entitled to them. I legitimately think that we are entitled to these leagues, being honest and saying, instead of just running it through an Adam Schefter, I think it's fair to say, okay, why? Why did you move? Why does this game matter that it can go to Monday and these games go to Tuesday? And if you say to me, well, the reason we did that is because ESPN has an exclusive window for Monday Night Football, so we didn't want to show another game on during that exclusive window that ESPN pays billions for, so we put two games that are both on Fox on Tuesday to balance out the TV. Fine.
I'm fine with that.
Fine. I mean, okay. I'm not asking for state secrets. I'm just asking for you to make it just semi-understandable for the average person. Their updated protocols yesterday made absolutely no sense to anybody. I don't even think it made sense to people who are doctors. The way it was so worded, now, if you have this viral load testing.com, just tell me what it means. That's all I'm asking. And the other thing that I think we're entitled to know is if you're vaccinated and you get this variant, and I don't know if this variant is more harmful or less harmful. I know what the people are assuming, but remember that we spent half a year using hand sanitizer and we found out that didn't really matter anyways. But if this variant is not harmful, and especially if you're vaccinated and all these leagues are vaccinated, then why are the rising case counts a big deal? Just why is it a big deal to reduce capacity at the Bruins game in Boston if everybody there almost has to be vaccinated or have a negative test anyways? And I'm not asking that as to be mean. I'm asking that in all seriousness, that if most of these dudes are asymptomatic, or a lot of them are asymptomatic, and they've been vaccinated, why are they not playing football? Why are we shutting down hockey? And if you've got a legitimate answer for me that makes sense, I'm okay with it. Just tell me the truth. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder too if the NFL is being not incredibly transparent about this for a reason, just in case, they don't say, okay, these are the black and white reasons of why we chose this day and why we chose these teams.
Can I ask you a question about the NFL?
Okay.
Have they ever been completely transparent about anything?
No.
Okay.
But I'm saying, is it because they want to save themselves in the future?
I don't know.
Because if there's criteria that they would explain that this is why we moved this game to this day, if that arises in the future and an option to postpone the game is not necessarily advantageous for the league, then they might not do it, and they don't want to have to retrace their steps. So, I mean, the league, to your point, has never been transparent about anything.
I enjoyed last year a lot more when it was like, all right, we're rolling with it because of this. Like, that was last year, and I liked it more. I liked it more when it was like, yeah, we got this coming up, so we're moving it here. Fine. This, where you got Baker Mayfield tweeting at the NFL, like, that is wild. And I'm over it. Like, I'm just, if you move the game, fine, move the game. Just tell me why you're moving the game. I don't feel like I'm asking for too much, just a little bit of transparency. Okay, so I see some of your texts on that. We'll get to some of them maybe, but I do want to get to the football game last night because I have got a lot of thoughts. I said yesterday that if Kansas City won this game, then I would say Kansas City is for real. But I'm struggling with something from last night's game that I want to get to next. 615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to get in. 615-737-1025. Who's going to be watching the Saints game? Because you got a chance to win some serious money in that game with my friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use the promo code JGM so they know that I sent you to get this unbelievable offer. Again, that's promo code JGM so they know that I sent you. As the season is rapidly approaching the final stretch, FanDuel Sportsbook's got something to offer in this Saints-Bucks game, 25-1 odds on any touchdown scored in the game. That means that you can win $125 on a $5 bet. So you can go with Taysom Hill, which I wouldn't do, or you can go with Chris Godwin, which I probably would do, or Leonard Fournette, which I could do. You can go with those guys. You can also make a same-game parlay as well. I love the FanDuel Sportsbook app because it got fast payouts, and they now accept Venmo. FanDuel is sports betting made simple, and they're always hooking you up with great offers, and when you win, you'll get paid in as little as 2 hours. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app and my official sportsbook. 21 and over in present Tennessee. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in a designated offer market. Max bonus $125. Bonus for Tennessee users fulfilled in site credit within 72 hours. Tennessee site credit expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Hi, I'm Jussi Saros. And this is Smashville.
Stopped by Saros. Hook checked away and taken now by Mikhail Gronlund.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 1025. The Game.
Your home value is way up. Why not use it to make your home even nicer with a new kitchen or bathroom? Hey, Willie here. So many of our listeners are doing this with Loan Pronto, thanks to their zero-cost cash-out refi program. Call Loan Pronto now. They're fast-tracking home refis for the year-end, and people are getting checks for 60, 70, 100 grand or more. It's fast and easy. It's your money, money you can use to add even more value to your home. Imagine 2022 with that all-new luxurious kitchen you've been dreaming about, or start building that pool so it's going to be ready for the summer. Call Loan Pronto now. See how easy it is to use the equity in your home and walk away with the big check. They can even pay your closing costs, and you can skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Treating erectile dysfunction with acoustic wave therapy has been getting a lot of attention lately. But you should know that some are promising results we just haven't seen and charging a lot of money for the treatments as well. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if you're looking at acoustic wave therapy or any option to help your ED, you really should call us first. Unlike wave therapy only clinics, the Tennessee Men's Clinic wave therapy protocols do use acoustic wave technology, but we also often combine it with other treatments that can give most of our patients far higher satisfaction rates. There is no surgery nor any type of invasive procedure required. And even better, Depending on your treatment strategy and with our urologist and provider's guidance, you can likely have sex the day after your appointment. We even have other treatments that can help you last up to an hour. Plus, for a limited time, we're waiving our normal appointment charge, which includes a PSA and T test, and offering a free ultrasound, altogether nearly a $400 value for free. So make an appointment today. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects, treatments, extra results vary.
Attention Nice List recipients. The Mercedes-Benz winter event is here. Make this season your reason. Forget the halls, deck the garage. Hark, the turbo engines sing. Like hot cocoa in a blizzard, this opportunity won't last long. Hurry for these exclusive offers from Nashville's two-time Best of the Best award-winning Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Just one exit from the airport. Go to mbofmc.com.
ESPN 1025, The Game and Music City Man Cave want to treat one lucky listener to the full male grooming experience. Text CAVE to 615-737-1025 to enter for your chance to win the Monastery treatment package from Music City Man Cave.
Tune in to Stillman and Company every Friday at 5 o'clock.
I am glad to be on this show.
To hear from Nashville sports media personality Chad Withrow of Outkick 360.
He's 6'4", he's 260 pounds, he runs 21 miles per hour.
Brought to you by Apple Collision Centers.
This could be the best game of the weekend between these two teams.
Withrow joins Stillman and Company Fridays at 5.
Happy to join you guys every Friday.
On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This is Greg McElroy, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 1025 The Game.
Now just one catch shy of Otis Taylor. Here is Kelsey. Still going. Kelsey, good night. Touchdown. Chiefs win it.
That was the finale on Thursday Night Football last night. So I went in to yesterday's game, and I picked the Chargers to win, and I said, if the Chiefs win, then there is no shaming this loss or this win. Like, we've looked at the other ones and been like, you're beating the Broncos and you're beating the Raiders. And
sometimes it was narrowly.
Are you back? Not so much. So yesterday, I'm like, the Chargers are a good team. They're on the road, and I'm watching the game. Now, I'm in a sports bar last night watching the game because I've got the football game on one TV, I got the Preds on another TV, and I'm watching college volleyball because Louisville was in the Final Four, so I'm watching that too. And I see early on I see the incomplete pass at the goal line on third down that would have been a touchdown on the first drive, and then somebody gets hurt, so they go to commercial. They come back from commercial, and the offense is on the field. And I'm like, this idiot's going to go for it. Oh, my God, this idiot. And then he didn't get it, and I'm like, serves you right. Then he did it again, and he did it again. And then they lose in overtime. So just one of those field goals, much less all three of those field goals, would have given the Chargers a victory in regulation. Now, everybody who likes to make excuses will always say, well, you don't know how that would have changed the game. All I know is that if it's 28-28 and I gave away 9 points, I deserve to lose that football game. That's what the Chargers did. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, does the Chiefs come from behind overtime win against the Chargers deserve the credit that if you had told me yesterday the Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers in overtime, that I would have said, okay, the Chiefs are there. The Chiefs are at the top. The Chiefs, Patriots, whatever order you want to put it, they're the best two teams in the AFC, and the Titans are staring up at the Chiefs' butt. Or can we literally look at this as football has gone completely stupid? Because I think I'm the only person in America under the age of 50 who doesn't mind kicking a field goal.
I told you, I am very pro-conservative decision to just kick a field goal. Just don't do anything too hasty. Take the points. I'm very pro that over risking it and going for it. The Harbaugh approach, if you will.
So TD yesterday talked about this idea, like this coaching list that he gets emailed. And he said that Brandon Staley was ranked as the number one coach in the NFL on whatever coaching.com list that TD gets.
Pro Football Focus of coaching?
I don't know. But I mean, that guy is a moron. Like, I would fire him if I owned that team. And didn't you tell me that after the game he was like, I'm going for it with this quarterback?
Yeah, he was like, with our quarterback and our offense, that's the kind of football that we want to play, and that's the football that we need to play if we're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Janice, can you call Brandon into the office? Thank you.
No, Brandon, you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs by scoring more points than them.
Here's the thing. These young coaches have their heads shoved so far up their own asses that they have no idea how to understand how football works. Can I ask a question? When did the 5-yard line become go for it range?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
and especially in the first quarter.
If you're at the 32-yard line and you've got a field goal kicker who can hit from 50, and you're at the 32 and it's 4th and 5, you never go for it. You kick that field goal. If it's 4th and 2, you can send the offense back out there. And I understand the analytic people that will say, first of all, here's another thing. When did the analytics tell you not to go for it? Like, is there any time? Do they have a card like in blackjack? I remember last year Romeo Crennel went for 2 or didn't go for 2, and Rich Gannon was calling the Titans game, and he just lit in to Romeo Crennel. And he took the little card out that looked like a blackjack card. It tells you when to hit, when to stay, whatever. And he's like going over the card. Like, do analytics say don't go for it? Like, if that ball had been at the 7, would that moron have still gone for it on 4th down? I don't know.
I mean, he kept doing it.
I don't know.
Repeatedly.
And what bothers me about this trend in football is it is so accepted. You listen to national commentators, and they're like, oh, yeah, see, this is people that just don't understand analytics, that just don't understand why they go for it. And I'm like, no, these are people that look at the Baltimore Ravens kicker and wonder why you wouldn't go into overtime with a Steeler team that you're better than that hadn't moved the ball well against you. I'm sitting here looking at the opening drive of the game. The opening drive of the game. 4 points is not a lot of points over an entire game. But you need early as many points as you can get. Take the points, take the points, take the points. I don't get it. I do not get it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think it cheapens the Chiefs win a little bit. Like, as much as yesterday I said, I'm going to put Kansas City at the top of the AFC if they win this game. The idea that the Chiefs are back, which people were saying, hey, the Chiefs are back. And it's like, let's see them beat someone better than the Broncos. They beat somebody better than the Broncos last night. But I think it cheapens the Chiefs win because this guy for the Chargers has no clue what he's doing. These coaches, I'll tell you, I mean, and I'm not saying everything's got to be old school leather helmets, but these guys, 4th and goal from the 5. 5 yards is a lot to get.
In the very beginning of the game.
Like 3rd and 5 is a passing down because you can't expect to get it running the ball. So why would you ever go for it when you have to take half your playbook out anyways? I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's embarrassing to the NFL. I thought Vrabel had a great answer today. He was asked about analytics. He was like, look, I mean, the numbers have been there before they were given, the phrase analytics. But a lot of this is you're dealing with human people, and sometimes you got to make a decision on your gut. And I appreciate that because when Vrabel first took that job, he was Johnny go for it too. But, oh, my goodness. I mean, so I'm just saying it. I think it cheapens the Chiefs' win last night that this Charger coach did what he did. And that's embarrassing to football, by the way. I mean, I'm not saying that the league should put down an edict that says, stop playing Madden like you have a controller in your hands. But goodness gracious. And the amount of media people that are just covering up for 3 horribly ill-informed decisions. If he had made the one where they didn't kick it because their kicker's really not all that good, okay. But the other 2, take the points. Take the points. And will going for it ever make up what they lost last night? Will all the times they go for it this year, will that ever make up for what they lost last night? I'm going to guess no. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We're to your reaction on that as well. 615-737-1025. Does that cheapen the Chiefs win. I think it does a little bit. No disrespect to the Chiefs. But, I mean, oh, goodness gracious. ESPN, The Game Nashville, and Newton Motor Group have teamed up this holiday season with Souls for Souls to help children in Middle Tennessee with Souls for Music City. Souls for Souls works with our schools and community partners to deliver new shoes to kids who need them the most. Newton Motor Group will be making a donation to Souls for Souls for every test drive at any of Newton Motor Group's 4 locations. Help us achieve our goal of getting shoes to 100 kids in Nashville experiencing homelessness. For more information and to donate, go to thegamenashville.com/shoes.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobus. Warm conditions continue. This afternoon, high temperatures in the middle to upper 60s. Rain chances decrease this afternoon, but some showers on and off throughout the morning, and that'll be the same case on Saturday. Rain early and dry later in the day.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe. Titans fans are the greatest fans in all of sports, and BetMGM is celebrating with them with a special offer on their favorite team. Sign up with BetMGM using the code 1025GAME100 and make any $1 wager on the Titans game. Once the bet is placed, you'll receive $100 in free bets. It's that simple. Then check out fan-friendly promotions like special odds boosts, early cash-out offers, sweepstakes, giveaways, and more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com. Use that code 1025GAME100 to receive $100 when you make any $1 bet on the Titans game. Titans fans, now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Tennessee only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. For problem gambling support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.
Do great prices and selection on trucks and SUVs still exist? They do in Truckville. Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville has the largest selection in Tennessee. And we keep getting fresh stock on our lots every day. We're committed to offering you our best price and a 5-star experience, which is why we're still known as the destination for trucks and SUVs. Come visit Truckville, Tennessee today in person or online at sarahnashville.com.
Response to Genesis Diamond's fantastic 12 days finance offer was incredible, so we've decided to extend it through Christmas Eve. Last-minute shoppers, we're taking care of you at Genesis. You can come in now and get 5 years, 0-interest financing on any holiday purchase. All fashion jewelry is included, all colored gemstone jewelry, and yes, all diamond jewelry, including engagement rings. Get a $12,000 designer ring with a GIA center diamond and pay just $200 a month with 0 down. Or watch her eyes sparkle when she sees that $6,000 pair of diamond earrings you got for just $100 a month. At Genesis Diamonds, celebrating love is our specialty, and there's no better time than the holidays to let us help you show your love in a meaningful way. Don't miss this special extended 5 years, 0-interest finance offer, now through Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit, see store for details.
Hey, this is Jared, the owner of MTGRT.com. Has your lender discussed long-term and short-term total costs? Our goal with our clients is to ensure that they make the best decisions for their situation. Strong analysis ensures you're getting the right loan for you from the get-go. Let us help you make your dream home a reality. Text me on my personal cell today at 615-969-2257 or schedule a time for us to talk online at MTGRT.com.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe of Darren, Donick, and Chase, and this past weekend was obviously tough for a lot of our neighbors as they're hurting following the tornadoes that ravaged both Kentucky and Tennessee. So all of us here at 1025 The Game and Cromwell Media, we're lending a helping hand, and we need your help as well. Through Blood Assurance, the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund, they need your help. So go to thegamenashville.com/help to see how you can assist today.
This is Stillman and Company, delivered by TriStar Moving.
Those 3 4th downs were very good calls, and you could have scored on all 3 of them. But then how do you balance it out with the fact that obviously if you had gone for 1 and scored, you might have won the game? Can you talk as a coach how you balance that? I know it's not easy.
For sure. It's a great question, and I love the answer. It's life in the NFL.
when in decision making like that. And I think that from where my mindset is that I know that the quickest way to win a game like that is to score touchdowns, not field goals, especially considering who's on the other side. And to me, when you feel like you're in an advantage situation, when you don't feel like it's a gamble, when you feel like this is an advantage for you, then that's going to be our mindset. Okay, and I don't think that any decision that I made tonight, was a gamble. We felt like it was an advantage situation for us, and that's why we did it. If we didn't feel like that was the case, then we would have kicked a field goal or we would have punted. And that's the way we're going to do things around here. And, I know that our team embraces that mindset, and we're going to continue to do it every game we play moving forward.
Boy, that sounded a lot like Mike Vrabel his first year as coach of the Titans. You remember Johnny Go For It, Ian?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, hey, if we think we got a chance to win the game, we're going to go for it. I believe in the guys. Now it's like, yeah, bring out the punt team.
Well, it's really fun to be the hero when you go for it and it's a risky decision and it works and everyone's like, yeah, this guy has got the stones. And then you don't make it every time and it's not as fun. And then you realize, I hear him saying the quickest way to win games is by scoring touchdowns, but also not getting points is a really easy way to lose a game too.
So I saw Rob Ninkovich this morning on ESPN, longtime Patriot. Mm-hmm. He's like, who would have kicked the field goal? Bill Belichick. He was like, Bill Belichick. Somebody told me the second 4th and goal should have been the analytics department should have shot that down, because part of the reason that they're okay with going for it in goal-to-go situations is you give the team the other team gets the ball at year one, so you stop them, then they punt to you and whatever. But when you're at the end of the half, that doesn't matter. Like where the ball is doesn't matter at the end of the half. I just think that this coach is a young coach, and he's all wired to be like, we're going for it. And I think young coaches, these guys, I'll tell you, they get these NFL jobs, and they are so arrogant. Like every single guy that has never gotten an NFL job before gets an NFL job and just becomes Mr. Arrogant. And I don't know if that's because they spend so much of their lives like being like, now when I'm head coach, what we're going to do. But I mean, Urban's been coaching for forever, gets into the NFL, is told, hey, you can't act in the NFL the way you acted in college. Starts acting like he acted when he was in college. He's gone. Brandon Staley gets a coaching job and is like trying to reinvent the wheel as the head coach of the Chargers, whereas Bill Belichick would have sent his kicker out there. And it's like, dude, you cost your team the game. And your ego is so big that you won't admit it, that you think you know more than everybody else who's done this job before you who would have kicked a field goal. And they won't admit it. Like, that's why when Vrabel didn't go for 2 at the end of the Seahawks game in week 2, I was like, oh, my God, yes.
Growth.
Yes.
We love growth and development.
Does it cheapen the Chiefs' win like I think it does?
I don't know if I'm necessarily there. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, that the Chargers essentially, grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory because they had that game won. But I think that you have to give credit to the Chiefs for being able to come back and win that game. And Travis Kelce had a heck of a game last night.
Why do I have to give credit to the Chiefs?
Because they won a game that really in the first half I didn't think they were going to be able to win.
And they wouldn't have if the moron had kicked a field goal.
But
and he made 3 of them. It wasn't
then
like,
I guess that way that you could, take away any sort of win because of stupid coaching decisions.
Well, don't we do stuff like that? I mean, what we're trying to do is subjectively evaluate whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs are the back-to-back 2-time AFC champions, putting the rest of the conference on notice. I told you last week, I said, if Tennessee has to go to New England, the Patriots are going to win that game. If Kansas City has to come here and Derrick Henry's healthy, I think the Titans are going to beat the Chiefs. I still think that. I don't feel any different about Kansas City today as I did yesterday.
Are they the best team in the AFC? I mean, that's a different question than are we cheapening that win?
Well, that's what this win was about, right? Like we said going in, like they were going to win that division. Now the Chargers could have gotten ahead with a win, but this was, is Kansas City for real? Like, are they a legit, bona fide, still a contender?
And see, I thought last night was going to be that defining moment, at least for me personally. Are the Chiefs legit? Are they the Chiefs again? And I don't feel like I have a definitive answer after last night's game.
So that's cheapening the win. Because that's what we were looking forward to at the end of yesterday's show was, are the Chiefs going to prove to us that they're for real? And here it is, they won, but. I mean, the Chargers should have won that game.
Yeah.
And I feel like that if they played the Titans yesterday, the way that, Mahomes missed a lot of throws yesterday. Had they played the Titans yesterday, I think Titans would have won. Like the Derrick Henry Titans. I think they would have won. That's just my take on it. Phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. What do we have in the text line?
Gator Tim texts in and says, the analytics have given all of these coaches justification for bad decisions. They're ruining football.
So here's what I don't get, right? Is, and I was texting TD about this last night. Like, when do the analytics say don't go for it? Like, I think someone goes for it, whether it's smart or not smart, and it's like, why did they go for 4th and 17 from their own 31-yard line? Analytics! And it's like, there's literally a metric that says going for it on 4th and 17 from your own 31-yard line is a good idea. Analytics! I mean, I understand the idea of 4th and goal at the 1 going for it for the 4 points. The 5 on the first drive of the game?
And that's the thing, was the timing of it as well. I mean, if you are down by a touchdown and it is, you absolutely need to score right here, right now, and you need a touchdown, I get it. But it's the first drive of the game.
I just don't
put some points on the board.
I just don't get the whole analytics thing for every time somebody goes for it. Because not every going for it decision is the same. That's like what drove me nuts about the Titans' loss to the Patriots on that 4th and goal play where they rolled Tannehill out to throw the ball to Cody Hollister. And it's like you're averaging 7 yards a crack. You're pushing them back 5 yards off the ball on every run. You got a quarterback who can run it into the end zone. What are you doing with that play? And I know that the answer was that was the play that they had drawn up all week for the 2-point conversion, that they had practiced, that, hey, if we have to have a 2-point conversion, this is the play we're going to run. So because they had practiced it, that's the play they ran. Like, how about feeling for what's going on during the game? And, again, it had just started on the 4th and goal from the 5. But, like, the play before where the guy dropped the ball because Nick Bolton came in and hit the ball out with his helmet and I think probably broke that guy's elbow, like that play, that would not have helped you on 4th and 5 because that guy was at the 2-yard line. So if you run that same play and this time the guy catches it, it doesn't matter. And again, it's 5 yards. I don't know. Somebody's got to explain to me when the analytic chart says go for it and when it says don't. Like the 7? Is the 7 a go for it? 4th and goal from the 7. Would you go for it?
No.
4th and goal from the 9. Like
absolutely not.
I mean,
I wouldn't have gone it from the 5.
So I don't understand like where the line is of no, you need to kick a field goal here. I guess I'm just not smart enough to figure that out.
I mean, and it also begs the question, is it really the analytics or is it an easy cop-out?
Oh, it's such a cop.
And is it just you wanting to stroke your own ego because you feel like if you went for it and didn't get it, if you go for it again, you redeem yourself?
When is Harbaugh going to get fired over these stupid decisions? Like, they had a 14-2 team that got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs because they went for it twice on 4th down, didn't get it, and the Titans scored touchdowns on the next play. Your dream season ended because you got so cocky that you went for it on 4th down in your own territory, didn't get it, and on the next play, Tannehill hit Cleve Freeman for a touchdown. When do you get punished for that? You never do. Everybody's like, this is the new age of football. And I'm like, okay, then I'll go to the old age of turning around and handing it to my 250-pound running back and letting him run for 200 yards a game. Because I think the Titans have been pretty successful doing that. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Coming up next, I don't feel so good about the Steeler game. Vegas apparently does. Am I off my rocker? We'll get into that coming up next. Fireball Hot Take Friday. You all know how much I love Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. There is no better way to celebrate than with ice-cold Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Christmas parties are a happening, and there is no better thing to bring, especially if it's like a Secret Santa kind of Christmas party, than Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Go find Fireball at your closest retailer. They're everywhere. You know Fireball. Goes down so smooth, and it tastes so great. Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Ignite the night. Please do it responsibly, and be 21 years or older to enjoy. That's ice-cold Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey.
1025 The Game and Cromwell Media are teaming up with Souls for Souls this holiday season for Souls for Music City.
Thank you to everyone who's helping us.
Every $20 donation equals a brand new pair of athletic shoes for a local child experiencing homelessness in Middle Tennessee.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Log on to thegamenashville.com/shoes to learn more on how you can help bring a smile to a child's face at a time of need. Souls for Music City is brought to you by Newton Motor Group.
Thank you so much.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Touchdown! Titans fans, with 5 locations throughout Middle Tennessee, it's easy to find the perfect corner pub to meet up with friends and family to cheer on your favorite team. Brunch it up this Sunday in Cool Springs, or head downtown and watch the Titans on the 50-foot LED screen, where we will be live on location with Jared and friends. Stop into any location for game day food and drink specials. Corner Pub, your local family-friendly sports bar, located in Brentwood, downtown Nashville, Bellevue, Cool Springs, and Franklin. The neighborhood meets at the corner.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Well, don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. Willie Donick here. It's time to call the folks at QC Kinetics. Non-surgical regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative, restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it for hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief. Don't let them give you the steroids. Don't let them tell you your surgery is the only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics and do it now. And imagine life in 2022 without pain. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024 for QC Kinetics.
Touchdown, Boilermakers! Witness tomorrow's NFL stars this month at the TransPerfect Music City Bowl.
First down, handoff, tailback, right up the middle to the 30. He's out of here. 20 to the 10, crank up Rocky Top. Touchdown, right up the middle.
Don't miss a second as Tennessee and Purdue, 2 of college football's top programs, go head-to-head on Thursday, December 30th at 2 p.m. inside Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
ESPN 1025, The Game and Music City Man Cave want to treat one lucky listener to the full male grooming experience. Text CAVE to 615-737-1025 to enter for your chance to win the Monastery treatment package from Music City Man Cave.
Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House invites you to join them for all this year's college football bowl game and playoff action. Bama, Cincy, Georgia, or Michigan, who will win it all? Boomba's has countless big screen TVs and a huge video wall to watch it all go down. Enjoy their 2-time award-winning best pizza in America, featured on the Food Network, and 100% crafted for you. Wash it all down with their award-winning happy hour with $2 Boom Brews and select domestic pints. Locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville. Pizza, beer, sports. See you there, Nashville.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
1025 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's Stillman and Company. Delivered by TriStar Moving. TriStar Movers with 5-star service. With Jared Stillman on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Stillman and Company is delivered by TriStar Moving, ESPN 1025. The Game live from the Hillside Medical Game Studio, streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Thanks to the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Fireball Hot Take Friday. Corey Curtis News 2 in just a little bit. So the Titans and the Steelers on Sunday. Now, you know when you look at an old college football schedule and you go back to 2003, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know the best team in college football in 2003 was?
No.
Ohio State.
Okay.
But that's easy to remember. Like, you know, Ohio State, you assume they're good every year. So if you pull up somebody's 2003 schedule and you see on there that they got beat 45-0 by Miami, for example, you would say, Miami's not really great, right? Like, Miami football? I mean, 45-0 to Miami?
Times have changed.
That 2003 Miami team might be the best college football team I've ever seen that didn't win a title. But you don't know that. There's something about brand where, like, Texas has a brand in football. They haven't been good in 15 years, but they've got a brand in football. The Steelers have a brand in football. Now, again, for the most part, we don't look at NFL teams like that because we know Tampa Bay, which has a terrible brand, has a great team because they've got the greatest quarterback ever. But I guess what I'm saying is, when I saw the line come out and the Titans were favored by 2 against the Steelers, knowing that Derrick Henry's not out there, knowing that I didn't think they were very impressive on Sunday against the Jags, knowing that the Steelers are going to be playing their hardest game of the year because their season is on the line, and they were embarrassed on Thursday Night Football, knowing that it's on the road, knowing that Tomlin's going to have those guys motivated to play, knowing that the Titans are due to slip up, I was stunned that the line was Titans -2. Now the line is currently, according to ESPN, a pick 'em. So it's a pick 'em between the Titans and the Steelers. I still get a little nervous about that. Again, if Derrick Henry was in there, or I knew that Bud Dupree was the Bud Dupree against Kansas City or the Bud Dupree against the Colts the second time around, I'd say, okay, fine. But we don't know that. And Roger Saffold's out, and David Long Jr.'s out, and all these guys are going to be out for this Steeler game. I'm nervous about the Steelers. I'm real nervous. I'm not saying the Titans can't win, but I'm nervous about this game on Sunday, and I just don't feel the same level of nerves from everybody else. Darren Donick and Chase today had a guy from a Pittsburgh radio station on, and he was basically like, yeah, they suck. And I'm like, I mean, I've seen the Steelers win a lot of games this year. So I hate to break it to everybody, but maybe I'm Debbie Downer this week. I'm nervous about that line, and I'm nervous about the idea that the Titans should be favored on Sunday against the Steelers.
And the Pittsburgh has won a decent bit of games, but I would say the best win on their schedule was Buffalo in the first game of the year.
And September football is always weird.
Baltimore a couple weeks ago when Baltimore chose to go for it on a dumb decision, and they lost that game. And all of the games that they've played against pretty decent teams. You got the Chargers and the Bengals and Green Bay, and they just lost to Minnesota. I mean, the Pittsburgh to me feels like your stereotypical 500 team. They can pick up wins where they need to, and they can even pick up wins against teams where they may not have been favored. But they also lose to teams that are just better than them. And the Steelers rely very heavily on young players. I mean, you look at 2 of the most key components of their offense, and they're both rookies, and Pat Freiermuth and Najee Harris. So the Steelers can be a tricky team. And I really don't know how to label the Steelers, to be totally honest.
So here's the thing.
Are they a good team?
Here's the thing you brought up. The fact that, they're an average team. They're a 500 team. They're average. They play a good team. They normally don't win. They play a bad team. They normally do win. Are the Titans a good team right now?
See, and that's another thing.
And I think we can all agree that the answer is no. They're just trying to get by. The Titans aren't good. Like that Titan team that beat the Saints by 2 because the Saints missed 2 extra points. That Saint team stinks. Trevor Siemian at quarterback. Titans aren't good. They got the one, you can always win one game when you lose that star player. You can win one game. Mm-hmm. Jeff Hostetler, Frank Reich, those kind of like one win. You win one. And they won that one against the Rams. Like that one was the one where, they won that game without Derrick Henry. Other than that, unimpressive win against the Saints, terrible loss to the Texans, 2 sloppy against the Patriots, and they beat a Jags team where Ian wanted them to score 14 more points. I mean, I don't think the Titans are good. Like the as constructed right now Titans, I don't think they're a good team. So let's take the best teams in the AFC right now. Without Derrick Henry and without David Long Jr., and without A.J. Brown. I don't think they beat the Chiefs. I don't think they beat the Patriots. I don't think they beat the Bills. I don't think they beat the Chargers. I don't think they beat the Colts. I mean, I don't think they beat really any of these teams. as currently constructed. I certainly don't think that they beat the Packers or the Buccaneers or anybody like that. And so those are the good teams in the NFL. The Steelers are like a right down the middle of the road team. And so for me, I struggle seeing the Titans as a right down the middle of the road team. And let's not forget, Tomlin is an excellent motivator in Pittsburgh. And their season is on the line, and they were embarrassed on national TV, and they have 4 extra days or 3 extra days on you. I think this is a reality check of how people feel about the Titans, which is how you feel about the Steeler game. If you feel like the Titans should beat the Steelers, then you think the Titans, as currently constructed with Dontrell Hilliard, 615-737-1025 is the phone number to get in. TriStar Moving is my official movers. I absolutely love TriStar Moving. They do a fantastic job. That's right. They moved me over a year ago, and it was one of the best moves ever. And it's certainly the best move that I've ever had. I love TriStar Moving. That's why their motto is TriStar Movers with 5-star service. Moving was a breeze. They also offer home protection. So they take care of your floors, your railings, your banisters, and all of your door jambs and the doors themselves. They have a brand new state-of-the-art storage facility as well in Mount Juliet, and their owners, Garrett and Robert, are true Nashvillians, and they truly care about helping this hometown. TriStar Moving is the real deal and on the rise quickly because of the high standard that they hold. So if you're looking to move, give them a call, 615-640-1219, or visit their website at nashvillemoving.org/radio, where they'll give you 5% off your entire move. TriStar Moving, 615-640-1219, nashvillemoving.org/radio. Tell them Jared Stillman sent you for 5% off your entire move. TriStar Moving, my official movers.
Landry lighting them up for Tennessee. Will the Titans defense make life difficult Sunday for Big Ben?
Najee Harris, touchdown Steelers.
Or will a desperate Steelers team get the best of the Titans?
Okay, that's horrible.
Tune in all day Monday for full reaction to Titans Steelers. We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Staples Connect is a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Teron Davenport, and I am here to tell you about Freedom Tire Guys. They're Nashville's premier mobile tire service. New tires, rotating, balancing, flat repair, torquing, they do it all. I can tell you this from personal experience. Just a couple weeks ago, I was at the Titans facility. They came there and changed my tires, all 4 of them. They did an excellent job. My car is riding extra smooth now. If you're in need of tire service, be sure to check them out at freedomtireguys.com. If you don't see the tires you want, they'll go ahead and get it for you.
Your home value is way up. Why not use it to make your home even nicer with a new kitchen or bathroom? Hey, Willie here. So many of our listeners are doing this with Loan Pronto, thanks to their zero-cost cash-out refi program. Call Loan Pronto now. They're fast-tracking home refis for the year-end, and people are getting checks for 60, 70, 100 grand or more. It's fast and easy. It's your money, money you can use to add even more value to your home. Imagine 2022 with that all-new luxurious kitchen you've been dreaming about. Or start building that pool so it's going to be ready for the summer. Call Loan Pronto now. See how easy it is to use the equity in your home and walk away with the big check. They can even pay your closing costs, and you can skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Evans with E2 Roofing. We have a lot to be grateful for this year, and I want to say thank you to our customers in Nashville and throughout Middle Tennessee. We hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday season.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
If you've missed any of today's show, Just search Stillman and Company on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
Don't miss the pregame show live at the Corner Pub downtown before the Titans take on the Steelers. The pregame show, Mark Howard, Chris Sanders, and yours truly will get you set for kickoff. The pregame show brought to you by TriStar Moving, Parman Tractor and Equipment, FreedomTireGuys.com, FanDuel, E2 Roofing, Hillside Medical, Social Furniture, and Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. The Titans injury report, by the way, is out, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But Corey Curtis joins us now from News 2. I am not convinced the Titans should be favored in this game. Vegas now has it as a pick'em. We saw the Chiefs win yesterday on the road. New England plays the Colts tomorrow. Can the Titans keep pace? Corey, how much of a threat are the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, I mean, when you look at the skill spots, they've got some big-time players, on the defensive side, obviously with, T.J. Watt, if he plays, and Cameron Hayward is always one of my favorite players in the NFL. Joe Hayden's been a good player for a long time. Minka Fitzpatrick's a good football player. And on the offensive side of the ball, you can pick your poison there with Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, and Freiermuth looks like a really good red zone target. He's developed nicely for them. It's kind of shocking to say with the Steelers. The question is, what do they have in the trenches, and do they have enough?
I look at this game and I think to myself, this may be the last one that the Titans just have to find a way to get through, mainly because I think they'll get A.J. Brown back after this week. Do you think the Titans, as currently constructed, are good enough to beat what I think is an incredibly mediocre team in the Steelers?
Yeah. But by the way, this isn't the last one. I mean, the Steelers, the 49ers are a physical team, and they've got players, and that won't be easy. And the Dolphins could be on a 7-game win streak when they get to Nashville. I mean, I just don't think it's a cakewalk the rest of the way. But I think when you look at the way the Titans match up with the Steelers, I think that they have a very good opportunity to control the game. If their defensive line, like if Bud plays and they can do it with 4 up front like they were doing before Bud got hurt, I really like their chances to win this game. But that's what it comes down to, is controlling things up front, getting the lead, running the football, doing the things that you do well.
What do you make of Ben at this point in his career?
No, he's old, man. Speaking as an old dude, he's an old dude. All right. I mean, he moves like the Tin Man after spending 2 summers outside. I mean, he is not very agile at this point. But if he gets going and they actually start to make some plays for him, he can do it a little bit. He just doesn't go down the field well enough, consistently enough at this point. And while he's still big and strong, he doesn't have the escapability that he used to have. So if the Titans, if Simmons and Autry especially can come in strong from the inside, they should have a field day with Ben, but we'll see.
Corey Curtis, News 2's our guest. Patriots take on the Colts tomorrow. We saw Kansas City win last night. How much do you think that the Titans really belong in a discussion with those two teams?
Oh, my gosh. I think they're better than both those teams. So, yeah. I mean,
what?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think they beat the Colts twice. And, look.
I was talking about the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Colts. Yeah, no, I mean, they beat the Chiefs, and they went up to New England and played with, their B team. And if they hold on to the football, have a great chance to win the game. Look, the Patriots are a good team. They're a good team that doesn't beat themselves, and they let other teams beat themselves. The Titans, I think, when they put their dudes on the field, are a better team. And so I worry more about the Chiefs than I do the Patriots. I think the Chiefs are much more dangerous come January than the Patriots are.
See, I just don't buy that, because the only good game that they played since Derrick Henry went out, where I felt like good about the Titans, was the game against the Rams. And even last week, I know they won 20-0, but it was a very boring and unimpressive 20-0 against a team that, honestly, Vanderbilt may be able to tangle with in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer coaching them. I just think that we got some false sense of security around here with the Titans that they can beat average teams, because so far, they beat the Saints, but the Saints are terrible. And I just have kind of this taste in my mouth where I'm like, the Titans have got to figure it out. The line hasn't played well enough. The offense is really lacking. The defense has given up some plays I wouldn't like over the last, a handful of. I don't know. I just don't feel as strong about the Titans as I feel like everybody else does.
Well, no. I mean, look. Do I love what the Titans have been able to put on the field the last few weeks? No, but I mean, you're talking about how do they match up against those teams? They're going to play those teams in January. They're not going to play them right now. And I'm looking at how they match up with those teams in January. And I expect Bud Dupree to be out there. I expect A.J. Brown to be out there. I expect Derrick Henry to be out there. Does the offensive line have to play better? Yeah. Yeah, they do. They need to be more consistent, and they need to play better. But when it comes time to play those teams again, they should have their guys back. And when they've got their guys back, they're a better team. That's my opinion. And like I said, look, if you go back and look at the Patriots' last 5 games and see the divergence of events that have led to those games, everything that could possibly go the Patriots' way has gone the Patriots' way. That's not me saying that they're lucky and that's the only reason they win. The matchups have gone extremely favorable to the point where they play the Buffalo Bills that it is so windy that it completely neutralizes Josh Allen in the passing game. They don't even have to worry about neutralizing the quarterback because Mother Nature did it for him.
Corey Curtis, News 2, is our guest. Are you as addicted to the number 1 seed for the Titans as I am? If the Titans get it, I feel like they've got a decent shot, to your point with the guys back in January, to get to the Super Bowl. If they have to play Kansas City and then play New England and perhaps play both of them on the road, I don't think they're going to get to Los Angeles. What do you make of that 1 seed?
You know what? Normally I don't get all tied up about the 1 seed. I'm more about getting to the tournament and what did Floyd used to always say, just get me to the playoffs, baby. Mm-hmm. That would be more my attitude. But I think this year, along the injury front, but more than that, Jared, when you look at this year all across the NFL, what have we seen? We've seen teams up and down, and we've seen everybody beating everybody. So I don't think anybody goes into the playoffs looking like Goliath. So if you can get a free victory in the playoffs this year, I think it's more valuable than just about any other year that I can remember. So I am very pointing towards that number 1 seed because it's advancing in round 1 when there's no guarantees, no matter who the matchup is, that you would advance in round 1.
Corey Curtis, News 2, is our guest. What'd you make of the Chargers coach last night going for it on every 4th down? I say it cheapens the Chiefs' win as far as analyzing them as an AFC contender. What did you make of it?
See, I don't think it cheapens their win at all because they had to step up on 4th down and make plays, and they did it. I mean, the Chargers stepped up and challenged them on 4th down because the Chargers thought they needed touchdowns and not field goals, and I understand that. I think coaches chase points too early sometimes, and I'm sure analytics tell them to do that. But I think it says more about the Chiefs because they were able to stand up and make those critical plays in those critical moments. So I don't think it cheapened that victory at all. And I think, sometimes coaches get into tough situations or look, the Chiefs are they've been the standard in the AFC the last couple of years. And I think you get in those games and you get in your head and you get outside of who you are and what you would do in a normal situation because you're convincing yourself you've got to do more. There comes a time when you just need to take points. And that time happened a few times in that game. And, he may not regret it. He may say, I thought we needed touchdowns. I don't think it showed enough belief in his defense. I think that was one thing. But I think he allowed the moment to alter him some.
What do you think of – 2 thoughts here. 1, what do you think of the Patriots-Colts game? And 2, if you're a Titans fan, who are you rooting for to win tomorrow?
Okay, this is the question that's going around all week, and this is the easiest question to answer possibly ever. You are rooting for the Colts without question because what is your goal this season, Jared? Is your goal to win the AFC South or is it to win the Super Bowl?
I would say it's to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so that answers your question. The Patriots losing gets you closer to the Super Bowl than the Colts losing. So that is certainly what you want to do. Look, I like the Colts team more than I like the Patriots team. But what did I say about the Patriots? What do? They wait for teams to beat themselves. And there's no quarterback in the league better at beating himself than Carson Wentz right now. So that's the only thing that scares me about this football game. And if Belichick does what Belichick always does, which is take away the other team's best thing, he's going to try to take away Jonathan Taylor. And we're going to see if Carson Wentz and Michael Pittman and some of these other guys can get it done.
Plus, he's going to put J.C. Jackson on Pittman. I mean, he's going to lock up Pittman with J.C. Jackson, and it's going to have to be Zach Pascal and T.Y. Hilton, or the ghost of T.Y. Hilton, out there to beat the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to win tomorrow, and I think you just brought it up perfectly. I think it is I think Reich is just as much of a problem as Wentz, and it's that they're both fine enough, but they just seem to make the wrong decision at the wrong and most inopportune time, and that is a deadly combination going up against Belichick.
I just don't understand what took them so long to realize that Jonathan Taylor was their best player on offense. I mean, they for whatever crazy reason, they thought running the offense through Carson Wentz was the way to go to start the year. And once they started running it through Jonathan Taylor, they were in business. And that is on the head coach. He had Jonathan Taylor on his team last year. He knew what he had.
Corey Curtis, News 2, Fireball Hot Take Friday. What's your hot take this week?
You know what? I am pumped for Rick Stockstill today. I think he is a great coach for Middle Tennessee, understanding what they are, who they are, and what their resources are. And I am super excited about that bowl victory for them today. And the other thing that excites me about that is the whole Urban Meyer thing. You don't have to be a jerk to be a head coach. And yes, you can say, well, Urban Meyer's got, 2 national championships, and being a jerk is what got him there.
3.
Is it worth it? Is it worth selling your soul and being that person? To me, it's not. I'll take 100 Rick Stockstills in a heartbeat. Happy for those guys, and happy that we have him here in Middle Tennessee.
I am happy that we have Rick Stockstill, too. 10-point deficit. They came from behind, won the Bahamas Bowl today. I will say this, though. You're that media, Corey, that Urban Meyer's daughter is going after on Instagram to tell the true story about who Urban is, because you people don't understand, apparently.
Well, you know what? I don't have to understand him. All I have to do is look at what he did. And you know when it was over for Urban for me? I mean, and he's done plenty of things. When he didn't get on the team plane after the game, that was enough for me. That was that showed me a complete lack of understanding and failure in leadership. And then it just has kind of cascaded from there. We always picked on Eli Manning and Jay Cutler for body language. How was that body language at the end of that game last week? Did that look like a leader of men to you?
Oof. Urban Meyer. Down the drain. Corey Curtis, News 2. As always, Corey, appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Jared. Hey, everybody, Jared's going to be doing Sports Extra with me on the 26th. You want to check that out.
That is true. And I am very much so looking forward to it at News 2. Corey Curtis, as always, joining us on a Friday. And Corey Curtis is presented by my friends at Invigorate Health. That's right, InvigorateHealthTN.com. Invigorate Health in Mount Juliet and in Franklin. Look and feel your best with IV therapy, medical weight loss, testosterone, health and wellness, and body shaping treatments. InvigorateHealthTN.com for more info. I told you I'm going to do one of the, I think it's iodized. I don't know what it is. I think it's ionized foot detoxes, where they take all the toxins and stuff out of your body through your feet. And I saw them doing it there yesterday at Invigorate Health. I'm actually going to give it a try. Get those toxins out of it.
That'll be fun. You could use some toxicity leaving your body.
Oh, I could. I wonder what the toxicity is. I wonder what's bad that's in me.
I also wonder, after you get it, are you just going to be the most peachy radio host in all of Nashville about the Titans?
I don't know. When you see the toxicity come out, will you see what is M&Ms and
maybe?
I mean, I don't know what'll come out of me. I have no idea. So I'm excited to do it.
Kind of exciting.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. So Corey Curtis just told you that if you're a Titan fan, you've got to root for the Colts tomorrow. I agree. But can we have any faith in the Colts? We'll get to that coming up next. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We all know many of our neighbors have been hurting this week following the deadly tornadoes that ravaged both Kentucky and Tennessee early Saturday morning. All of us at 1025 The Game and Cromwell Media are lending a helping hand to those in need through Blood Assurance, the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund, and the Nashville Predators. Head over to thegamenashville.com/help to see how you can help today.
Titans.
Touchdown.
Steelers.
Touchdown.
The two-tone blue enters hostile territory looking for back-to-back wins. Tune in Sunday at 9:30 for NFL pregame. Live from Corner Pub downtown with Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Mark Howard. We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's the end of the year blowout sale at Social Furniture. Save up to 70% off Ashley Furniture. Social Furniture has truckloads of the best selection of furniture. Get your nightstands, mattresses, bar stools, sofas, and recliners. All on sale now. Come first for the best selection of furniture before it's gone. And you don't want to miss out. Visit Social Furniture on the west side at 5412 Charlotte Avenue. On the web at mysocialfurniture.com. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Men, what if I told you that now you're able to get testosterone replacement therapy in the comfort of your own home? No more weekly trips to the doctor's office. We come to you 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Be seen by a licensed medical professional in the privacy and comfort of your own home or office. You decide. Schedule your appointment today at CoolSpringsMDformen.com.
Due to overwhelming response, Genesis Diamond's amazing holiday finance offer has been extended. Now through Christmas Eve, you can enjoy 5 years, 0 interest on any holiday purchase. Everyone's loving this because it makes it easy to splurge this holiday season. A $6,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $100 a month with nothing down. You can even include the sales tax. At Genesis, we have all the most popular gifts: rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, pearls, and a spectacular selection of designer jewelry you won't find anywhere else. Names like Tacori, Verragio, Kirk Cara, unique, one-of-a-kind, fashion-forward designs. So let our non-commissioned diamond experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Get the guaranteed best Genesis price, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 whole years. Make this one unforgettable Christmas with help from Genesis Diamonds. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit, see store for details.
Family Leisure would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas from our family to yours.
Throughout this holiday season.
And to celebrate this joyous season, Family Leisure is having a Christmas sale up to 50% off everything in the store.
Wow, that'll really help out.
Arcade games, game tables, pool tables, even shuffleboard tables are on sale. Foosball and air hockey tables as low as $1.99 as well.
A pool table and game table from Family are a great gift for the family.
Family Leisure has spas in stock and on sale and ready for immediate delivery.
Wow, that sounds like a great gift to us.
Family Leisure has up to 50% off on infrared saunas, ready for immediate delivery as well.
But what about something for the kids?
Family Leisure has deluxe outdoor play gyms on sale and starting at just $26.99 installed. Vuli trampolines start at $22.99.
That all sounds great.
That's Family Leisure's Christmas sale going on now.
At both huge locations, Franklin and Antioch.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch TD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with TD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Presented by FreedomTireGuys.com, Nashville's premier mobile tire company, and Craneworks and Rental Works, your source for crane and equipment rental. Visit Craneworks.com. Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is Mookie Betts. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Stillman and Company on a Fireball Hot Take Friday. Silly underdog picks presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. Pick 3 football underdog teams you think will win before the games begin. And if you win, you can win a prize. Volunteer Hose and Gasket, the presenting sponsor of Silly Underdog Picks. Go to thegamenashville.com for more information. Tomorrow night, this is the one fun thing about having a team that's good in the NFL if you're a Titan fan, is I remember as a kid, I just wanted Sunday tickets so bad. We had, before it was Comcast, it was Viacom. And we had Viacom cable when we lived at our old house growing up. And I remember that there were two things that DirecTV had that Viacom didn't have. The first thing was the Braves played a lot of their games on this wild channel named Turner South that you couldn't get on regular cable. You had to get on DirecTV. And there were like, it started getting to the point where like every other game was on Turner South. So we had to get that fixed. And then there was Sunday Ticket. And all the other channels that come with satellite, I didn't care. Did not care. I just wanted Sunday Ticket, and I wanted to watch the Braves. And a lot of that was because the Titans were good every year. And so you'd be watching a game on a Sunday or a game or whatever, and you're looking at the bottom of the ticker, and you're like, how's Jacksonville doing? How's Indianapolis doing? How's Baltimore doing? How's Pittsburgh doing? And then the Titans were bad for about a decade. So once we finally got DirecTV and we got Sunday Ticket, the Titans were horrible for about a decade, which made having Sunday Ticket irrelevant, right? Like we wanted
it doesn't matter what's going on with the rest of the league.
The only thing that it gave you was when your team was so bad that you couldn't watch it anymore, at least you could go flip to another game that might be close. That was the only thing Sunday Ticket gave you. But what's great about having a team that's good is that all these other games mean something. And so last night, I don't know how many of you watched the Thursday night game the way I watched the Thursday night game, but I was rooting for the Chargers. And it's because I don't want any part of the Chiefs, and I don't want the Chiefs to overtake the Titans and thus have to go to Arrowhead and play in January, because I've been to Arrowhead for playoff games in January. It's not a fun place to be if you're the Titans. Tomorrow's game is even bigger because New England is ahead of the Titans. So, if the Titans can win on Sunday, as we have been talking about all throughout the week, if the Titans win on Sunday and the Colts, who are favored by 2.5 points, are able to overcome the Patriots, then the Titans would have the number 1 seed in the AFC. And they'd have the number 1 seed with 3 games to play. San Francisco, who will be traveling on a short week for Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins at home, who I'm still not convinced are very good, and the Texans, who, while they beat you the first time, have Davis Mills at quarterback and have definitely packed it in. You can really go 3-0 those last 3 games and get that number 1 seed and get Derrick Henry healthy and get that bye week and then draw into the Chargers or the Bills or the Ravens in that first game and then get the winner of New England, Kansas City at Nissan Stadium. And then I think you got a shot at L.A. And I know that's a lot of things I just said, but Vegas seems to think the Colts are better than the Patriots at home because the line opened at 1 and now it's 2.5. I can't get that far because I look at Belichick, and the hallmark of what the early Patriots did and what these Patriots are doing is they don't knock your socks off. They wait for you to make a critical mistake, and then they take advantage of it. And that's what the Patriots did to the Titans a couple of weeks ago. That's what they did to Buffalo. They're coming off of a bye. They get better throughout the course of the year. And Belichick is going to take advantage of your mistakes. So who are the teams that usually beat a good Patriot team this late into the season? Other than Miami, who strangely has Tom Brady's number in December in Miami. The answer is the teams that will come up and just kick you right in the mouth. Baltimore all those years with guys like Ray Lewis. The Giants in those Super Bowls with the pass rushers, Justin Tuck and Michael Strahan and O.C. Umenyiora. The Broncos with Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. Those are the teams that beat the Patriots. The Colts do not seem to be one of those teams that really punches you in the mouth. At least I don't feel that way. And the second thing about the Colts is I think they have the most mistake-prone coach and quarterback combination in the NFL. I'm sure there's a bad team out there, like the Eagles maybe. And you can say, well, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are more mistake-prone and bad coach than these two guys. But of the contenders out there, which quarterback makes more mistakes in crunch time than Carson Wentz? I can't think of one. Which coach makes more mistakes than Frank Reich. And Frank Reich's got this unbelievable reputation as some diabolical genius, and he's absolutely not that. My buddies in Boston were talking about this game on Boston Sports Talk Radio. They were talking about this game, and they were talking about Reich, and, is Reich a good coach? And I'm like, no. I said, he is not a good coach. And my buddy asked, how so? I go, he's a total doofus. He goes for it on every fourth down. He takes the ball out of the running back's hands, and the media in Indy treats him like he's Mike Tomlin, when in reality he's more like Mike McCarthy. So I just can't see the Patriots losing this game because I got Belichick, the smartest coach in the league, on one hand, and I got Reich and Wentz on the other hand. And I'm rooting for the Colts, but Carolina, I don't see it.
I'm with you. I'm rooting for the Colts because it seems like the AFC South is signed, sealed, delivered, knock on wood, but it feels like it's the Titans.
You just have to win 2 more games.
Right. And it doesn't necessarily depend on this game. This Colts-Patriots game, there is so many implications for the Titans in terms of the playoff picture. But to Corey Curtis's point earlier, what is the Colts' greatest strength on offense?
Running the football.
Jonathan Taylor. And I know that Bill Belichick, when they played the Titans, they couldn't stop the run for whatever reason, which it's not necessarily rocket science to know that the Titans are going to run the football. So, and I know that Bill Belichick always takes out whatever is going to be your key to victory. And it seems
unless
like
it's Derrick Henry.
That is Jonathan Taylor, unless it's the best running back in the NFL.
Which some people will argue that it is Jonathan Taylor right now.
But if Derrick Henry was healthy?
I mean, I'm just saying,
if we can play this game all day.
My thing with Belichick is the 2 games against the Titans are totally, I cannot understand how the Titans were able to run the ball as effectively as they were. And if the Colts are able to run the ball this way, Colts are going to win.
And that's what I was going to say, was that is the key to victory for the Colts. And I don't think there's really any other way that they can win this football team, barring a ton of mistakes from the Patriots, which doesn't seem like it ever happens. That is how they're going to win this football game, is Jonathan Taylor running the ball all over the Patriots defense. I just don't know if that's going to happen.
What % chance would you give the Colts of winning?
Like a 25% chance.
25?
25-30% chance, yeah.
I mean, I have a little bit more faith than that. I'd say like 40, 45. I certainly don't think the Patriots. See, here's my thing with everybody. I feel like some people just say like, oh, I don't think the Patriots are that good. And I certainly think the Patriots are good. I don't think the Patriots are a slam dunk to make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
No, I don't think of any team in the AFC like that.
But I certainly think they're good. I would say that the Patriots I'd go Patriots 55, Colts 45. I think you're crazy going 25%. That means a 1 in 4 chance that if they play the game 4 times, you think the Colts win once.
I think so.
Ian, what do you think?
I don't know. I kind of think the Colts are going to win.
Why?
Oh.
I don't know. The home game helps, I think. But both teams, coming off a bye, which is, also even. I just think that the way I understand what you're saying, and Frank Reich and Carson Wentz, and that is, I would think they'd have a better chance of making a mistake than Belichick and McDaniels and, them not wanting Mac Jones to turn it over. So I do see your point there. But part of me, Caroline's point about the Colts in the run game, I have a feeling the Colts in the run game could do some damage.
Interesting. So Ian's going to go leaning towards Colts. I just think that Reich and Wentz are too dumb. Like, they're too dumb for Belichick. I mean, I can't bang on these guys all year and then have them go up against the smartest coach in the NFL who has been taking advantage of mistakes all year long and say, well, now's the week that they're going to figure it out. That's my hard part, is I can't stand these 2 buffoons. And I can't stand them when, and I think they're both this way, I can't stand them when you want them to lose and you want the Titans to beat them and they do things that are dumb that allow you to win. But I also, now I'm on the other side of it, and I still can't stand them. 615-737-1025. We'll hit some headlines with Caroline, and we'll do that coming up next. 615-737-1025. Stillman and Company on a Fireball Hot Take Friday. It's ESPN 1025, The Game.
from the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobus. Warm conditions continue. This afternoon, high temperatures in the middle to upper 60s. Rain chances decrease this afternoon, but some showers on and off throughout the morning, and that'll be the same case on Saturday. Rain early and dry later in the day.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Panera believes in saying yes to things like the new grilled mac and cheese sandwich featuring mac topped with Parmesan crisps. Get $1 delivery when you order on the app. Panera, live your yes. Restrictions apply.
Attention Nice List recipients. The Mercedes-Benz winter event is here. Make this season your reason. Forget the halls, deck the garage. Hark, the turbo engines sing. Like hot cocoa in a blizzard, this opportunity won't last long. Hurry for these exclusive offers from Nashville's two-time Best of the Best award-winning Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Just one exit from the airport. Go to mbofmc.com.
Closer, bolder, golden. Nashville SC Stadium is arriving in 2022, and season tickets are on sale now. With just 150 feet between the pitch and the last row, you'll be right there in the action no matter where you sit. If you thought soccer in Nashville was a party already, you ain't seen nothing yet. So come on in, grab a seat, and stay a while as we open a new era of Nashville sports. For more information on season tickets at the new Nashville SC Stadium, visit nashvillesc.com/22 ticks.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and three-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmett's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. QC Kinetics, 249-4024.
It's the return of Jack White, live in concert. The Supply Chain Issues Tour. Ascend Amphitheater, Saturday, April 30th and May 1st. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new albums from Jack White, Fear of the Dawn, is available April 8th. And Entering Heaven Alive drops July 22nd. Don't miss Jack White. Visit jackwhitethird.com for more information.
Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is here to serve you. Is your AC or heating unit old and inefficient? Is it breaking down yearly? Now is the time to replace it. Waiting can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Just like everything, the cost of a new AC unit is rising. Effective January 1st, all manufacturers are increasing prices up to 10%. Get ahead of the game and call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, offering 60 months, no interest financing, and 10-year parts and labor warranty on all new units. Schedule now at springhillac.com or call 615-778-8855.
Hey, Darren McFarland here. We all know that many of our neighbors have been hurting this week following the deadly tornadoes that ravaged both Kentucky and Tennessee early Saturday morning. All of us here at 102.5 The Game and Cromwell Media are lending a helping hand to those in need through Blood Assurance, the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. Head over to thegamenashville.com/help to see how you can help today.
Stillman and Company is on. Delivered by TriStar Moving.
Stillman and Company on a Fireball Hot Take Friday. It's Free Beer Friday, served by Joyland in East Nashville. Text in the keyword JOY, J-O-Y, to the game text line 615-737-1025 and be qualified to win a Joy Beer and Joyland's new Smash Burger Deluxe. Time now for Headlines with Caroline.
We're spanning the sports world. It's Headlines with Caroline on Stillman and Company, right here on Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
We have a ton of football headlines today, but first and foremost, a hockey headline. Winnipeg Jets coach Paul Maurice announced that he will resign as the Jets head coach in his 9th season. He says he no longer is the person to lead this team to success through the law of diminishing returns. Went on to say, if you'll allow me some arrogance, I feel I'm better positioned than anyone to know that they need a new voice. They haven't quit on me, but they need somebody that can get them to that next place. So in 9 seasons, Paul Maurice has a record of 315, 223, and 62. Kind of a strange timing and kind of a strange exit from Paul Maurice.
So, I mean, I think Paul Maurice is a great coach. So I was stunned by that news today. I mean, the idea of I feel like they need a new voice, not that I feel like they've quit on me, but I think they need a new voice.
And he said, I'm a good coach and this is a good team. They just need someone new. It sounds bizarre.
I wonder if the COVID stuff's gotten to him. Like, last year, you're only playing in Canada, and the restrictions here, and then you got to go there, and this game's canceled here, and it's there, and I'm just spitballing. I mean, look, a year ago yesterday, we announced to everybody that Floyd was resigning, and they didn't want to use the word retire. And it was like, I knew what was going on, but most people didn't. And so there were a lot of people. I was at a wedding a couple months ago, and they were like, yeah, last year when Floyd just abruptly left the radio show, like, we didn't know, like, what had happened. Like, my friends were asking me, like, did he and Jared get into it or did whatever? And, like, nobody knew. So you couldn't, like, tell anybody what was going on. And so it was like, yeah. Like, here I am, like, the first segment that day, and I'm, like, in tears breaking down over it. And it's like, dude, he just retired. Like, he's fine. And it's like, no.
Not the full story necessarily.
But that was the story that he wanted people to know. And, whatever the reason that Paul Maurice wants to walk away, he's not telling you. But I don't know. I think Paul Maurice is a great coach, though. That I do know. What's next?
Speaking of COVID, New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton has tested positive for COVID and will not be on the sideline for the game on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which feels a little bit like deja vu all over again because Sean Payton was the first known positive case for the coronavirus in March 2020 in the NFL. But per NFL protocols, Sean Payton will be out for at least 10 days unless he does the new, the testing out of COVID protocol. And there's 3 different new categories as noted in the memo that the NFL released yesterday that I don't really totally understand. But in the meantime, until he comes back, defensive coordinator Dennis Allen will assume head coaching duties against the Bucs.
Dude, I remember when that happened, when Sean Payton got it last year.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, yeah, Sean's going to take the weekend off and then get back to work. And I was like, wait a minute, aren't they telling people that have this to, stay at home for 14 days? Taking the weekend off and 14 days are 2 totally different things.
And taking the weekend off is something that you do if you just had a rough couple of days and you just need some time.
Not in the NFL.
Not tested positive for COVID.
But, that was when we got in a big argument, Floyd and I did, that, if he got COVID, Ian, you remember this, he said if he got COVID that he'd stay in the office to work on the draft. And I was like, you're not supposed to do that. And he was like, I don't care. And he's like, I'll the anti-vax people that are like, see, you can still get it. The best immunity is natural immunity. Dude had it, now he's got it again. Same with Kevin Stefanski, right?
And he is vaccinated. Kevin Stefanski has it. I don't know if he had it in the past.
No, Stefanski had to miss a game last year.
Then yeah.
I think he had to miss the playoff game. I think Stefanski had to miss the playoff game against the Steelers last year because he had COVID.
And is vaccinated, obviously, because you have to be vaccinated to be a coach in the NFL.
Yep. So sounds like that, but the anti-vax people will say that, see, they got it, so the vax doesn't work. Whereas I would love to know how Sean Payton feels compared to last year, this year, now that he's been vaccinated. But that's neither here nor there. What's next?
But speaking of Kevin Stefanski and his team, the Cleveland Browns picked up a new quarterback today. And now this news came out this morning, so I don't know how this new rescheduled games really affects this. But the Browns have their top 2 quarterbacks on the COVID list. So they picked up quarterback Kyle Lauletta today. So the Browns were down at quarterback to just Nick Mullins heading into Saturday's game, which is now Monday's game against the Raiders. He's been on the practice squad all season, but for a little bit of insurance, Lauletta was picked up off of the Jags practice squad this morning. But Cleveland has 22 players now on the COVID reserve list.
Yeah, so I saw Roger Goodell send out a memo that was basically like, we're going to move these 3 games, and we don't plan to move any games after that.
But how can you say that? How can you say that definitively, and why these games and not games in the future? Are you just saying magically COVID won't be an issue in the future, or that you won't care about it in the future?
No, I think they're going back to their 2020 protocols. So they're expecting that teams won't get sick because they're telling the players, you go right home after practice, you go right back to the facility.
Masks in the facility, no in-person meetings.
So they think they got through 2020 that way. But if this variant is more transmissible than the old variants, I'm not sure that that's going to be reality. But I don't know. That's not really, that's not for me to figure out. But I do wonder, like, Kyle Lauletta's fine. He's, a bum. But the Giants, I think, took him high a couple years ago, maybe. And, he's whatever. But COVID's going to ravage somebody's season. You just hope it's not you. You just hope it's not the Titans that 1 week before they go into a playoff game, it's not up. Tannehill, Brown, and Henry are out. You just hope that you don't find yourself in that scenario. What's next?
So after almost a year of just mayhem and embarrassing missteps from Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, finally free of Urban Meyer, took to the podium to talk about life after Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. And since interim head coach Darrell Bevell has stepped in, what life has looked like for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He took to the podium and talked about that today. And do we have that? Yeah, no worries.
That was yesterday that he went to the podium.
Did I say today?
Yeah.
I meant yesterday. But in the meantime, while we're getting that ready, Travis Kelce had a career night last night against the Chargers, career high, 191 yards, and scored the game-tying and game-winning touchdown to beat the Chargers in overtime. So with the game last night against the Chargers, Travis Kelce has exceeded 1,000 receiving yards for the 6th straight year. Kelce had 104 of his yards after the catch, the second most in his career last night.
Boy, I tell you, those Chargers, they don't tackle very well now, do they?
No.
I mean, I got to tell you, the Chargers defense, they're not very good. And I know that people say, well, Kansas City can do that to it. But, they don't stick with guys very well. They don't get good angles. They don't. I mean, that they let Kelce score that touchdown last night was both a product of the fact that Travis Kelce is an incredibly talented player, but also some really poor fundamentals from the Chargers.
I mean, how many missed tackles? 1, 2, 3, 4 down the field. Travis Kelce was just able to dodge all of the defenders all the way down to the end zone. It was remarkable, actually.
It looked like a defense that wasn't really working together. Like that they weren't really in sync of okay, I'm going to send him over this way, and then you go over and cut him off, and you get him that way. So that I was a little surprised by. I got to tell you, the Chargers, I love the quarterback. I really do. But the coach, he's a defensive coach, and they had that defense last night. And then he has the dumb decisions to go for it on 4th down. I just thought were painful. Those are headlines with Caroline. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Coming up next, the Steelers. The Steelers may not make the playoffs. In fact, they're technically in last place. But if the Titans can't get it done, what will that tell us? We'll get to that coming up next. Who knows of semaglutide? If you are looking to lose weight, if weight loss has been something that has been so difficult for you, you need to give semaglutide a try. It is carried exclusively by my friends at Invigorate Health with 2 locations in Mount Juliet and Franklin. Invigorate Health is online at InvigorateHealthTN.com. Semaglutide has been approved by the FDA for weight loss this summer. It's a drug that has been around for years, prescribed for diabetic patients. Now it's available for people who just, quite frankly, have been big boned their whole life. I've talked to numerous doctors about the efficacy and safety of semaglutide, and all of them say it is a great drug. Semaglutide is available for your weight loss use exclusively by my friends at Invigorate Health. So give it a try today. That's InvigorateHealthTN.com. Again, just give them a call, get a consultation, and if it's right for you, they'll keep track of your blood work and everything else to make sure that you're on the up and up. But that's InvigorateHealthTN.com. 2 locations, Mount Juliet and Franklin, for semaglutide, the breakthrough to weight loss.
Alabama.
Young on the move. Touchdown.
Michigan.
Haskins. Touchdown, Michigan.
Georgia.
Nakobe Dean. Goodbye. Touchdown, Georgia.
Cincinnati.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Your exclusive home for the 2021 College Football Playoff is
ESPN
102.5 The Game, 94.9, and the Game Nashville app. Brought to you locally by 312 Pizza Company in Shermantown.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen. This holiday season, head into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest gifts from Titleist and Bushnell. Feel the difference with the Titleist T-Series irons. 4 models to give you maximum performance for any type of dedicated golfer. And don't miss these hot gifts from Bushnell, like the Tour V5 and the Tour V5 Shift with Pin Seeker technology, or the Wingman with Bluetooth and audible GPS for distance. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online for the holidays at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Middle Tennessee, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, we're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and trusted by thousands of homeowners in our community. Our team is ready to assist with all your home maintenance projects, heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, appliance service, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-567-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
In 1972, a Nashville family business story began when Bill and Beverly Finley founded Volunteer Hose and Gasket. 3 generations have grown the business into the local industry leader, supplying just about anything to anybody, from the largest of contractors to your neighbor that mows his own yard. Over 1 million items in stock: belts, belting accessories, gaskets, gauges, hose fittings, hydraulics, industrial hoses, lubricants, sealing products, tubing, fire protection, and more. All at volunteerhose.net. If Volunteer Hose and Gasket doesn't have it, then you probably don't need it. Call them at 615-242-0461.
Music City Man Cave Luxury Men's Grooming is not your everyday nail salon. They specialize in custom hand and foot treatments for men only. As Nashville's first and only all-male hand and foot spa, they curate healthy, solution-oriented manicures and pedicures designed especially for men. From their comfortable environment, aromas, and overall focus on your self-care, everything is designed to make men feel comfortable. Book your appointment today by calling 615-975-2201 or online at musiccitymancave.com. Refining the confidence in men. Luxury grooming, man cave feeling.
Christmas shopping is in full swing at Electronic Express. Save big on the hottest gifts with up to 50% off in every department. 4K TVs, computers and gaming, smart home, housewares, and more. That's not all. Get up to 50% off all your appliance needs in stock and ready to deliver. Plus, buy now, pay later with up to 36 months free financing. Get your Christmas shopping done now at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's Stillman and Company. Delivered by TriStar Moving. TriStar Movers with 5-star service. With Jared Stillman on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Stillman and Company is delivered by TriStar Moving. ESPN 102.5 The Game, streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Thanks to the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Titans and Steelers, Fireball Hot Take Friday. Titans and Steelers on Sunday. So back in the old days, when Bud Adams used to own the Titans, they used to be, when they play Pittsburgh, it's Pittsburgh week. And this goes back to the old rivalry, the Houston Oilers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2 AFC Central foes for years. And Mr. Adams liked beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was Pittsburgh week. And apparently Mike Mularkey, who was on the Pittsburgh side of this too at one point, said that they used to say, oh, it's Titans week. And when the Titans would play the Steelers, it'd be some of the most physical football you'd see every single year in the NFL. But as much as I think like the old school Titan fan wants to pretend like, hey, it's Pittsburgh week, it's really not the same. It used to be a tough division rivalry. Then they changed the divisions in the first year in which they had realignment. The Titans and the Steelers met up in a crazy divisional round matchup in which the Titans had a big lead. The Steelers caught back up. The game went to overtime. Joe Nedney made the first kick, but the Steelers called timeout and the fireworks went off. Joe Nedney missed the second kick, but they called a roughing the kicker. And so he got a third attempt at it, and he hit it, and Bill Cowher ran off the field screaming at the referees, and the Titans went on to the AFC title game. But since then, the Steelers have kind of had their rivalry with the Ravens in the AFC North, and the Titans have kind of been down at the cellar getting smoked by Peyton Manning and the Colts. But now it's a big one against Pittsburgh. The Titans are going to make the playoffs. According to the New York Times, the Titans have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. The Titans, Chiefs, and Patriots all have a 99% chance to make it. The Steelers, who sit in last place, currently have an 11% chance to make the playoffs. 11. So I'd say the Titans are in a much better situation. But also, according to those New York Times numbers, if the Titans were to win against the Steelers this week, they would have a greater than 99% chance of making the playoffs. They wouldn't clinch it based upon what the Colts do. But let's just say the Colts win and the Titans win. The Titans would have a 46% chance of claiming the number 1 seed in the AFC. 46%. So it's almost 50-50 that the Titans will get the number 1 seed and that they will avoid playing Kansas City or New England until the AFC Championship game. If the Steelers win this game, even if the Colts beat the Patriots, the Titans have a 12% chance of getting the number 1 seed. Roughly a difference in 40%. And their likelihood of making the playoffs goes to 97%. So not the end of the world there. But Corey Curtis asked this question earlier today when we talked about the Patriots-Colts game and said he was rooting for the Colts because the goal this year was not to win the division. The goal this year was not to make the playoffs. But the goal this year has always been about the Super Bowl. And we talked all offseason long about what did the Titans need to be a Super Bowl contender. Then the Titans made the trade for Julio Jones. And when you invest what they invested in Julio Jones, a second-round pick and $15 million, things they were not willing to invest in order to keep Corey Davis around, they told you, we think we have a Super Bowl team. So that's what the goal is. That's what the expectation was. I think if the Titans lose this Sunday to the Steelers, the Super Bowl is all but gone. Just like how the New York Times can say the Titans have a 99% chance of making the playoffs, which I agree with. The chance the Titans win the Super Bowl, if they lose this game this week, I really struggle to see. I do not think Kansas City will lose another game this year, which means you've got to win out in order to get the 1 seed. I don't think the Titans will go to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. They did it in 2017, but I don't think they'd do it this year. I'm not sure the Titans could go to Foxborough, and a team that has been plagued at quarterback by mistake-making could go into New England and beat the Patriots again like they did a couple years ago. Anything's possible when you get in the NFL playoffs, just like Big Ben and Eli Manning winning the Super Bowl out of the 6th seed. But realistically speaking, I really have a hard time seeing the Titans do this if at least one of those games against the Patriots or the Chiefs is not at Nissan Stadium. And that would require the Titans getting the number 2 seed in the AFC. So this is a long-winded, roundabout way of me saying I think a loss to the Steelers on Sunday would be a death blow to the Titans' Super Bowl chances. Can they still win the division? Absolutely. They probably will win the division if they win on, even if they lose on Sunday. Can the Titans win a game or two in the playoffs? Sure. They can get Buffalo at home. Derrick Henry comes back, find a way to win that. Indianapolis at home, find a way to win that. Then go on the road to Arrowhead and Patrick Mahomes. But the likelihood that the Titans could pull off the 3-game sweep, which is win a game against a decent team at home, against a quarterback that's probably better than your quarterback, Buffalo, the Chargers, the Colts, although I don't think the Colts quarterback's better than yours. But the chance that you win that game, then go to Arrowhead, then go to Foxborough. I don't feel very good about that. That's what makes the NFL so fun. Every game matters, doesn't it? It's not the same in October. You can lose a game and say, okay, let's see how it... Not in December. The Indianapolis Colts last year went on the road to Pittsburgh in December. This was after Bud Dupree tore his ACL, and the Steelers weren't playing very well. The Colts had kind of found a little bit of a rhythm. They realized that Jonathan Taylor was their best option at running back. Big Ben was a total mess for the Steelers at that point. Phillip Rivers was playing okay for Indianapolis. And with a horrendous first half in Pittsburgh, the Colts lost. And you know what happened because the Colts lost that game? The Titans were able to win the division. Had Indianapolis gone in that week, they were the AFC South leader that week. Had they gone in and taken care of business against the Steelers, they would have been one game better than the Titans. They would have won the division, and they would have been on their way. You would have gone to Buffalo last year. Not that it made a difference because you both lost on Wild Card Weekend, but I think most people would rather be at home than going on the road to Buffalo. I think the Titans can make the Super Bowl. Again, Derrick Henry's going to come back reportedly. A.J. Brown should be back next week. Bud Dupree should be back this week. I really do think the Titans, in the middle of the season, played with a team that was capable of going to the Super Bowl. We saw what they did to the Rams. We saw what they did to the Chiefs. We saw defensively what they did to the Colts. They even beat Buffalo with 150 yards from the King. I think they can win 2 games in January, especially if they're both at home at Nissan Stadium. But you got to win this game in order to get those games. In the past, there have been times where a Baltimore Ravens team has gone into Foxborough and beaten Brady and Belichick and the Patriots. But it doesn't really happen that often. Rex Ryan got to 2 AFC championship games back-to-back. But if Rex had won the division and gotten a bye week, and instead of having to play Manning, Brady, and Big Ben all in a row in their primes, maybe cut a game off of that, maybe they could have gotten to the Super Bowl. So I look at this game, and I see right now that Vegas has it as a pick'em. And I think, this one you cannot lose. You win, and the Patriots lose, and you've got a 46% chance, almost 50-50, according to the New York Times, of getting the bye week. You lose, and the Colts win, you've got a 12% chance. If the Patriots win and you lose, you've got a 4% chance. By the way, the rest of the year, and the 49ers are not a joke, though you should win that game at home on a short week. And I know that Miami's been hot, but they'll probably pack it in by then, and the Texans are terrible. The rest of the way for this season, these Steelers go to Kansas City, the Chiefs go to the Bengals, and the Chiefs go to the Broncos. I don't think the way they're playing that they'll lose another game. So what are they going to do with the Titans? This might be your number one shot, but you've got to beat the Steelers. And for some reason, I'm not sure everybody around here is looking at this Steeler game the way I'm looking at it. I'm not sure Titan fans are worried about the Steelers the way I'm worried about it. I don't think that they realize the ramifications of this game if you were to lose it like I feel like it. That bothers me a little bit because I wonder if the Titans understand the seriousness of this game against the Steelers. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Do you think this is as important of a game as I do, which is if you lose it, I'm not sure the Titans can make the Super Bowl. We'll get Caroline's thoughts on that, 615-737-1025, and we'll get your thoughts as well, 615-737-1025. But there's one thing everybody seems to be bothered about, and no one's talking about against the Steelers, and it should scare you to death, and we'll discuss that next as well. Stillman and Company is on a Fireball Hot Take Friday. 615-737-1025 is our phone number, and we're live from the we're live from the Game Studios presented by Hillside Medical Clinic right here on ESPN 1025 The Game, and of course we're streaming on the Game Nashville app. Hey, join 1025 The Game this Sunday for the Bud Light Preds watch party at Headquarters Beercade. Drink specials, enter to win Preds tickets, and watch the Preds take on the Carolina Hurricanes. So join us this Sunday at Headquarters Beercade, located at 114 2nd Avenue South downtown. Puck drop is at 4 o'clock. Stillman and Company, it's ESPN 1025 The Game.
Roman Yossi with the score. Did you want dessert tonight?
The Nashville Predators overcome the COVID odds and beat the Colorado Avalanche 5-2.
Yeah, it's huge to get the win. I mean, we came together. We played hard for each other.
They look to continue their winning streak tonight in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Pre-game at 6:30. Puck drop at 7:30 on Smashville's Best Sports Talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Mucinex is the #1 OTC brand doctors trust for themselves and their families. So with cold and flu season upon us, why would you use anything else? Available at CVS.
Family Leisure would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, from our family to yours.
Merry Christmas!
Family Leisure is having a Christmas sale, up to 50% off on everything in the store.
Wow, that really helps!
Arcade games, game tables, pool tables, even shuffleboard tables are on sale. Foosball and air hockey tables as low as $1.99 as well.
Those are great gifts for the family.
Family Leisure has spas in stock and on sale and ready for immediate delivery. Family Leisure's Christmas sale going on now.
Both huge locations, Franklin and Antioch.
312 Pizza Company is Nashville's authentic Chicago pizzeria, and they're now hiring. Work for a family-owned business and be a part of their incredible team. 312 Pizza Company is hiring for all positions, including host, waitstaff, bartenders, cooks, and more. 312 Pizza Company offers health insurance and pay time off to full-time employees. Contact Kimberly at 615-730-7888 or email at contact@312pizzaco.com. 312 is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Jared. Your body needs water. That doesn't mean it has to be boring. And I'm here to tell you to give Focus a try. Focus is a sparkling water with a spark. It's infused with a boost of natural tea caffeine, so you get clean energy without sugar, calories, or crash. Go to drinkfocus.com to find the full lineup of flavors and get them delivered right to your door. Enter promo code GAME at checkout for 15% off your first order. Focus is also available at your local Publix. That's Focus, P-H-O-C-U-S, on the web at drinkfocus.com.
Ryan Porth back again to tell you about Dr. Kelly Rice, Family Cosmetic and Dental Sleep Medicine. I was reading some stats recently, Dr. Rice, and I did not realize the ADA says that 80% of people in the U.S. have some form of gum disease.
That's right, Ryan, but our non-surgical periodontal therapy is painless and effective in keeping your mouth healthy, and the mouth is the window to the health of the rest of the body.
What else is new and different at Cool Springs Laser Dentistry?
Well, first, who doesn't want whiter teeth? Our new Zoom LED whitening system is less sensitive, and you get more than 5 shades of whitening. And we just upgraded both our lasers to kill bacteria during your cleaning.
Some people get painful cold sores. Can lasers help that too?
Yes, the gentle laser setting will kill the virus in your cold sores all naturally while reducing the healing time by half. And our special soft tissue wand uses warm, light laser therapy to give instant relief to severe TMJ pain. Our approach to holistic dentistry is unique.
Give them a call today at 615-373-4488 or visit kellyerice.com. You'll be glad you did.
Attention Nice List recipients. The Mercedes-Benz winter event is here. Make this season your reason. Forget the halls, deck the garage. Hark, the turbo engines sing. Like hot cocoa in a blizzard, this opportunity won't last long. Hurry for these exclusive offers from Nashville's 2-time Best of the Best award-winning Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Just one exit from the airport. Go to mbofmc.com.
It's the official Bud Light Preds Watch Party as the Predators take on the Carolina Hurricanes this Sunday. Puck drops at 4, but the party starts at 3:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at Headquarters Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
Interact with Stillman and Company. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
As you enter this sort of home stretch, do you like the position you put yourself in where if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be where you want come January?
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, things haven't been perfect for us up until this point, but we have ourselves in a good situation. But Coach Vrabel's talked about it, for the last 2 weeks. Is we're just getting started. Have a lot of football out in front of us, and want to play our best football here down the stretch. So, if we're able to do that, then we'll like where we end up.
There you go. That was Ryan Tannehill. And I'll tell you this right now. I think there's something about the Titans and Titan fans that is not the same as how I feel. Why? Because I think they can go on the road in January and win playoff games, and I don't. Like, that's why I look at this Steelers game, and I'm like, you got to win it. Kansas City kept pace yesterday with their miraculous win against the Chargers because the Chargers coach thinks he's too good to kick field goals. And New England, you got to root for the Colts tomorrow night, but I feel pretty strong in my conviction that I think New England's going to win, which means you got to beat the Steelers in order to keep pace, or you got to beat the Steelers in order to clinch the division or take the number 1 seed over from New England. And so all this is kind of, up and down, up and down. But I think the Titans think like, hey, if we lose this game, it'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. Still play next week against the 49ers. Still in charge of the division. Still this. And you can think that all you want. You are entitled to feel however you want. Me? I don't think this team's winning 2 road games in the playoffs. So you better win this week. I don't think they're going on the road and winning twice, especially knowing that going on the road is not going to Baltimore. It's going to New England. It's going to Kansas City. And I've been to Foxborough, I've been to Foxborough for playoff games. I've been to Arrowhead for playoff games. I'm telling you, you're much better off at Nissan Stadium, and I truly value it. It reminds me of 2002. In 2002, the Titans were in a similar situation, but there were 2 byes. So they were the 3rd seed late into December. And the Steelers played a game at Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was no good. And I remember right down to the wire in that game, Cincinnati won, and everybody was watching. It was an early game. The Titans were playing a late game that day, and everybody was jammed inside the club level, and they had that Steelers-Bengals finale on the TVs. And I remember when the ball fell incomplete on 4th down, and CBS panned to a camera of Cower, and he just dropped his head because he couldn't believe it because they had lost. And that Steeler team then had to come in here in the road, and they lost to the Titans. And the Titans had to go on the road to the Raiders, and I thought the Titans were a better team that year than the Raiders, but they had to go on the road to the Raiders, which is one of the hardest places to play, in Oakland with the black hole, and they lost. And I felt like they got swallowed in by the black hole. I think that playing on the road matters in the playoffs. Belichick has lost at home in the playoffs before, but usually not very often. I think the one time they lost at home in Belichick's tenure, I could be wrong about this, was to Rex Ryan and the Jets in 2010. Other than that, I mean, they had to go to Denver and they lost. They had to go to they lost at home to the Titans in that 2019, but that team was falling apart and Brady left them as soon as he could. This is a Patriot team that you do not want to play in Foxborough. This is a Chief team that you do not want to play in Arrowhead. So I just think Titan fans think that the Titans can go on the road and win these games, and I do not feel that way.
Well, I think if you're referencing Titans fans who don't put as much importance on this game as you do, that maybe because those Titans fans, their number one priority at this point is clinching the division. And the Titans can do that no matter what happens this weekend, whether the Colts win or the Colts lose or the Titans win or the Titans lose. No matter what, I mean, obviously their odds of winning the division go down if the Colts win and the Titans lose, but it's still the Titans have a commanding lead over the division.
But see, do you think you're saying that they're not worried about winning on the road in the playoffs? That they're worried about winning the division? I don't think
that's their first priority.
Right. Well, sure, but I think that those fans think the Titans can win on the road in the playoffs.
If winning the division is their number one priority, then yes.
I don't know.
You're prioritizing that over a bye week.
I don't know what you mean by this. Like, if that's the first priority, I think everybody would want to win the division. You have to win the division in order to get home field throughout. There's no doubt about that. But I'm talking about, like, I look at this right now. Like, if the Titans end up not winning the division, end up not getting the number 1 seed, and let's say they're the 3 seed in the AFC. So New England's 1, Kansas City's 2, Tennessee 3, and, I don't know, Baltimore 4. Then those Titan fans think they can win that first game at home, go on the road to Kansas City and win, and either go on the road to New England or go to Baltimore and win that game too. And I don't think that. Like, they think that. Like, I think the Titans, if they got that draw, the Titans would be like, oh, yeah, we can go on the road to Kansas City and win. And I don't believe that. I don't believe they can go to Foxborough and win. That's the difference. Do you think they can win those 2 games?
It would be really difficult.
Ian, do you think they can win those 2 games?
If they were the 3 seed?
Yes.
I mean, could they? Yeah, but, I mean, it's going to be tough.
That's the difference between me and them. I still wonder this. In 2019, remember how everybody made a big deal about the Chiefs? Mm-hmm. How they'd be down, by 20 points and they'd come back and win. They were down 24-0 against the Texans. They were down 17-7 against the Titans. And I think they were down 20-10 against the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and they came back to win all those games. And it was like, you can never count Kansas City out. I truly wonder, had the last week of the year not happened, where New England lost at home to Miami, and thus Tennessee played New England the first week and not Kansas City, if they had drawn into the other side of it, which was Patriots get a bye, because this was when there were still 2 byes, Titans go to Kansas City flies to New England, Kansas City flies to Baltimore, I wonder if they could have won the Super Bowl that year. Instead, they got the Texans at home, the Titans at home, and then they played San Francisco. I wonder if they could have done that. That would have been a tall ask. You get down 24-0 in that divisional round at New England, Belichick's not blowing that lead. Brady's not blowing that lead. Bill O'Brien will blow that lead. Brady's not blowing that lead. You get down like that to the 14-2 Ravens, the way Lamar Jackson was running the ball, they're probably not going to blow that lead. That Ravens team was stacked. And that's why I keep looking at this and I'm like, man, the road to the Super Bowl is so important. It is so important. And the other thing, too, about being the 1 seed is, as I've said many times, that 2-3 game, somebody is taking somebody out. In the 2-3 game in the year that the Titans went there, or I guess it was a 4-2 game because the Titans were the 6th seed, but Kansas City only had to play 1 division winner on their way to the Super Bowl. If you're the Titans, you get the 1 seed, and somebody gets knocked off in the first round, like, I don't know, say the Chargers coach decides to kick a field goal, and they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs in Arrowhead, where they've already beat them this year. Now you don't have to play Patrick Mahomes. And instead you get the Chargers, who got to fly to Kansas City, fly back to L.A., fly to Nashville, and you get the Chargers and their coach who won't kick field goals. I mean, I'd prefer that. That's why I think that if the goal is the Super Bowl, I think you have to take this game so seriously, this Steeler game. And I'm scared to death of this Steeler game because I don't think the Titans game last week against Jacksonville was good enough in order to beat the Steelers.
You don't think the defense would have been good enough to beat the Steelers?
No.
I mean, I look at Big Ben, and I think he cannot move.
Big Ben almost scored 30 points in a quarter last week.
I know, and he gets the ball out quickly.
And he's got 2 wide receivers that can run. Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool can run. And what do the Titans struggle with? Corners that can run.
Mm-hmm.
So this is tough for me.
And not to mention Najee Harris is a bad man.
And I just think Titan fans, this is just me. I think Titan fans look at this and they just so believe in this team that they're like, Jared, when we get AJ and Derek back, we can beat any of those teams. And I think you can beat any of those teams once. I think you can go on the road and maybe beat the Chiefs if things break your way. But to do it twice and have to beat a Herbert or a Burrow or Jonathan Taylor, that's a lot to ask. That's why I thought Arizona, I said this before Arizona played Green Bay about a month ago on Thursday Night Football, and Arizona was undefeated, and everybody was singing their praises, and I was like, this is a big game for Arizona, and here's why. Because Arizona cannot go to Lambeau Field. They cannot go to Lambeau Field in January. And now because they lost that, and they lost this week, if they're going to go to the Super Bowl, they are absolutely going to have to go through Lambeau Field in January. Tom Brady can go to Lambeau Field in January. They can't. And that's where I'm like, Titan fans got to understand how big this game is now. They've got to understand it. And when I say Titan fans, I also mean the Titans. The Titans will not say that they can't win a game on the road in Foxborough and Kansas City. I will say it for them. You need those games here, especially Kansas City. I don't know why, but I think there's a big discrepancy between playing Kansas City in Arrowhead and playing Kansas City here. So,
I mean, Arrowhead is an incredibly menacing environment. And in January in Kansas City, I know Kansas City isn't that far from Nashville, but it is cold.
Well, I don't know if that bothers me because the idea of like Derrick Henry running the ball, I think I prefer kind of the cold. But there's just something like that game snowballed in 2019. Now, the Titans had no business beating the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. The Titans didn't have a good enough team. I know they beat them earlier in the regular season, but that was a fluky kind of win. But they dominated them here. And I got to tell you, I think the Titans could do something similar here. There, I mean, I think that they can get on a roll. Kansas City can. The Patriot game, I'm like, if you get Bud Dupree back and David Long Jr. and you start rushing the passer the way you were rushing the passer, Mac Jones is going to throw you a football. And this time it's going to be Zach Cunningham there to catch it, or it's going to be Jayon Brown there to catch it and not Dylan Cole. That would be the hope. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll go to your phones on this next. Plus, how scared to death are we? Roger Saffold is out today for the Titans against the Steelers on Sunday. How scared to death should we be about that front of the Steelers and TJ Watt against the Titans offensive line? Because I haven't heard anybody talk about that, so we'll jump into that as well. Fireball Hot Take Friday. Fireball whiskey goes down so smooth and it tastes so great. There is no better way to enjoy your weekend and to ignite the night than to do it with ice-cold Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Holiday parties, family gatherings, they are all on the horizon. And don't forget about New Year's Eve. That's right. Make sure you are stocked with Fireball for your holiday season. Also, Fireball makes a great gift, especially Secret Santa. Go ahead and get the little Fireball minis and go ahead and wrap them up and give them away. Happy holidays to all. Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Please be 21 years or older, and please drink responsibly. Stillman and Company, it's ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Tonight.
In front for Saka, and a sterling stop is made there by Saros.
The Nashville Predators head north for the back end of a back-to-back against Patrick Kane and the Blackhawks. Pre-game at 6:30, face-off at 7:30 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This holiday season, head into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest gifts from Callaway and Bushnell, featuring Callaway's Epic Woods, framing the future of speed with speed frame and AI technology for maximum ball speed and maximum forgiveness. It's the ultimate epic driver. And don't miss these hot gifts from Bushnell, like the Tour V5 and the Tour V5 Shift with pin seeker technology, or the Wingman with Bluetooth and audible GPS for distance. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online for the holidays at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Response to Genesis Diamond's fantastic 12 days finance offer was incredible, so we've decided to extend it through Christmas Eve. Last-minute shoppers, we're taking care of you at Genesis. You can come in now and get 5 years, zero-interest financing on any holiday purchase. All fashion jewelry is included, all colored gemstone jewelry, and yes, all diamond jewelry, including engagement rings. Get a $12,000 designer ring with a GIA center diamond and pay just $200 a month with zero down. Or watch her eyes sparkle when she sees that $6,000 pair of diamond earrings you got for just $100 a month. At Genesis Diamonds, celebrating love is our specialty, and there's no better time than the holidays to let us help you show your love in a meaningful way. Don't miss this special extended 5 years zero-interest finance offer, now through Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit, see store for details.
Mortgage rates are on the move, but you can still lower your house payment with my friends at Loan Pronto. Willie here. Call Loan Pronto now and take advantage of their super popular zero-cost refi program. So many people are doing this before the year ends. You can refi now. Get a rate with an APR in the low twos with no junk fees and no closing costs, even if you refinanced 6 months ago. Loan Pronto's all-digital process is fast and easy, virtually no paperwork required, and most loans get closed in 14 days. And if you act right now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. So call Loan Pronto now. Rates are still really low. If you're currently in the APR range of over 2.75, call now. You got nothing to lose. See how much you can save by going into the new year. Lower that house payment. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans eligible. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Happy holiday from Houston Clinic Orthopedics.
conveniently located where you live and work with various locations in and around the Nashville area. Houston's physicians specialize in spine, joint replacement, knee, hip, upper extremity, and many other orthopedic conditions. At Houston Clinic Orthopedics, they strictly adhere to all CDC guidelines for the patient's and staff's safety. To experience world-class orthopedic care and see a list of all Houston physicians and specialties, visit their website at tn.houston.com and book your appointment online today.
Saturday afternoon.
One-on-one. Pippen drives around and scores. The bucket and one.
Scottie Pippen Jr. and the Vanderbilt Commodores are back at Memorial Gym to host Austin Peay. Pre-game at 1. Tip-off at 1:30 on 93.3 Classic Hits and the Classic Hits app.
Hey, Nashville. This is David Price. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Like what that makes Watt so successful for them, and how much do they move him around?
Well, they move him around a little bit. You know what I mean? They do put him off the ball inside, and he's instinctive. I think instinctive and athletic are probably the two biggest things that I see. You know, he's a loose, fluid player. He's not very rigid, and he's also instinctive and plays hard. And you know, when he can't get there, he's trying to bat it down, and when he does get there, he's trying to knock it out. So, it'll be a huge challenge, and he's an excellent player.
Oh, TJ Watt. Would it be wrong for Vrabel to get up there and just say, well, he's like JJ but skinnier? Because that's really what he is.
I mean, it's not wrong.
He's JJ.
He wouldn't say that.
But he's skinnier. That a fair assessment?
Still pretty scary.
That a fair assessment?
I think that's fair.
JJ but skinnier. Oh, why do the Titans have to take a Dory Jackson instead of taking TJ Watt? Oh. So, TJ Watt is going to be matched up on David Quessenberry. And I'm just telling you all that right now because I know exactly where they're putting TJ Watt. Because that's exactly where I would put TJ Watt. Because that's exactly where anybody would put TJ Watt. Last year, the Titans played the Browns. They put Myles Garrett on David Quessenberry. Myles Garrett had a pretty good game. And I'm not mad at Quessenberry for that because Myles Garrett is a really, really, really good player. And there are very few right now in the league that are at the level of Myles Garrett. And I would argue that TJ Watt is one of them. And so think about that matchup on Sunday for the Titans about, hey, they're going to have TJ Watt on David Quessenberry. Now, I said this on Monday. The Titans' offensive line, I thought, didn't look very good against Jacksonville. And that wasn't just pass protection, but running the football, that offensive line that just drilled the Patriots backwards running the football. I didn't think really did that against Jacksonville. And while I don't study personnel, I got to believe that the front four of the Patriots and the front seven of New England, with guys like Devon Godchaux and Matthew Judon and Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower, and I have to believe that those guys are better than the guys that Jacksonville has who aren't very good. So that's concerning to me. How alarmed are we about the Titans' offensive line against the Steelers? And why are more people not talking about that this week?
Oh, I think it's absolutely terrifying because, I mean, you just look at TJ Watt alone. I mean, this Titans' offensive line has struggled in pass protection all year, and I worry about Ryan Tannehill getting absolutely clobbered. But I think that there is one silver lining here that could work in the Titans' favor, and that's TJ Watt's health. Because he's been struggling with injury all season long, and he has left several games early due to injury. This is a very interesting stat.
Just like JJ, but skinny. JJ's always hurt.
But being skinnier than JJ Watt isn't, saying much.
True.
But the Steelers are 0-4-1 this season when TJ Watt takes 50% of the team's defensive snaps, which is interesting. I mean, TJ Watt obviously is a huge contributor to that defense. So I do wonder TJ Watt has been dealing with health issues, and his status for the Titans game was up in the air all week. So I do wonder if TJ Watt does exit the game early, will that work to the Titans' favor? And I have to say it will.
Injury report for the Steelers. TJ Watt with a groin was a full participant the last 2 days. He is not on the injury report. He is expected to play.
He's expected to play, but does that mean that he's going to be in the entire game?
I think
because he's left several games early.
A full participant on Thursday and Friday makes me think he's ready to go. That was the one that I saw. The only guy who's out for them is a linebacker named Buddy Johnson. Who the hell is Buddy Johnson?
That sounds like a made-up name.
Buddy Johnson has a foot. He's out. Didn't practice. Let's see. For them, Joe Hayden, full participant. Ben, full participant. Let's see, who is this that was limited? Tight end Kevin Rader with a hip was limited. He's questionable. And Isaiah Buggs, defensive end, did not practice. He's questionable. And I don't even know those guys. Out for the Titans, David Long Jr. is out. Torrey Carter is out. When did Torrey Carter start mattering, by the way? Jack Rabbit Jenkins is out.
What is your beef with Torrey Carter?
I just don't think he does anything. Laurel Murchison is out. Roger Saffold is out. Tierra Tart is out. So that's who's out for the Titans. And then questionable, Aaron Brewer with a toe did not practice today. He's questionable. So if he doesn't go, I think Dylan Radins. Actually, I think they'd stick Levin out there before they'd stick Radins out there.
Dylan Radins and TJ Watt and this Pittsburgh
Well,
defensive
I mean,
front.
it's more Cam Hayward. Like, at that
Any
point,
of them, this entire defensive front.
he's probably getting Stephon Tuitt and Cam Hayward, and that's a big concern. I mean, I'm worried about the line, especially if Brewer can't go. But, like, Brewer's an undrafted guy in his second year, and he's not even really that good either. So the Titans' offensive line, which we didn't like on Sunday against Jacksonville, plays a much better front against the Steelers. Now, the crazy thing is the Steelers absolutely cannot stop the run to save their lives. And I have no idea why they can't stop the run, but they literally cannot stop the run. I've never seen anything like it. They cannot stop the run. I think I heard on Darren Donick and Chase, they're allowing 140 rushing yards per game.
Whoa.
So even though they've got this great front, apparently they can't stop the run. So there is that. Let's get to your phone, 615-737-1025. Go to thegamenashville.com/deals to check out Nashville's best deals. This week, purchase a $150 gift card for $125 to the Woodhouse Spa in Nashville. Get your loved one a gift of total relaxation to the Woodhouse Spa for Christmas. Conveniently located in Midtown at Division and Broadway. Get your deal now at thegamenashville.com/deals. What do we have on our phone lines, which are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com?
One texter texts in and asks, who gets sacked more this Sunday, Ben Roethlisberger or Ryan Tannehill?
Tannehill. Ben doesn't get sacked much. I mean, their line is terrible. But Ben gets the ball out very quickly. Plus,
Ben does get the ball out very quickly because he cannot move.
With the speed of Deontay Johnson and of Chase Claypool, the Titans' backup corners, which is what's going to be out there, are going to be playing off the football. Well, Fulton, I guess, will be out there on one guy, but they're going to be playing off the line, so those guys are going to have room to run. Ben's going to turn around and throw it right out to him. I mean, to me, you probably are going to get one or two cracks at Ben. I'm worried they're going to get Tannehill 5 times. I'd set the over-under on sacks for Sunday at 5.
Just on Tannehill or total?
On Tannehill. 5 on Tannehill.
That's probably pretty fair, and that scares me to death.
So, and if they get the over, they win. And if you get the under, you've got a chance to win. What's next?
Ryan in Nashville texts in and says, Titans are due to beat the Steelers. The Titans need to come out with confidence.
What is that? What does due mean?
See, I hear that a lot. Like, oh, they've beaten us so many times in the past, so we're due for a win now. That's not how football works.
Well, they played Mike Tomlin and the Steelers one time. So, one time they've done that. And I have a hard time, just with me, I've got a hard time seeing the potential of, well, you're due because you lost last year to the Steelers. What does that matter?
It
doesn't matter.
Not quid pro quo.
What else does he say in the text?
Ryan in Nashville goes on to say that the Titans need to come out with confidence, believing they are the better team. We cannot have kicking or pass protection errors. Also, I would take a shot to Julio earlier on and go up tempo.
Yeah, I mean, this idea that Julio's going to run down the field, I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe he can, but I don't see Julio running past DBs right now. He's just not there. Maybe he can. Maybe the hamstring's healed enough. 615-737-1025. We'll get back to your phone. 615-737-1025. Stillman and Company, CSP at 1025 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
Cloudy skies for the remainder of the evening hours and looking at the rain to continue in an off and on manner. We'll look for more rain on the way. Some heavy pockets possible Saturday with highs in the 60s and falling. I'm Fox 17 Chief Meteorologist Kim Morgan.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Audible is best-selling audiobooks, exclusive originals, and podcasts all in one app. This holiday season, treat yourself with 60% off your first 3 months. Just visit audible.com for more details.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Well, don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. Willie Donick here. It's time to call the folks at QC Kinetics. Non-surgical, regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative, restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it for hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief. Don't let them give you the steroids. Don't let them tell you your surgery is the only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics and do it now. And imagine life in 2022 without pain. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024 for QC Kinetics.
Are you worried about your holiday shopping and your gift arriving in time? The Omni Nashville Hotel has a great idea for you. How about gift cards to their world-renowned Mocara Spa or Nashville's fine dining favorite, Bob's Steak and Chop House? Surprise your loved ones and friends with this special gift idea and take out the hustle and bustle of fighting traffic and long lines this holiday season. Simply go to OmniNashvilleHotel.com to purchase your gift cards. That's OmniNashvilleHotel.com for gift cards to Mocara Spa or Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is here to serve you. Is your AC or heating unit old and inefficient? Is it breaking down yearly? Now is the time to replace it. Waiting can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Just like everything, the cost of a new AC unit is rising. Effective January 1st, all manufacturers are increasing prices up to 10%. Get ahead of the game and call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, offering 60 months, no interest financing, and 10-year parts and labor warranty on all new units. Schedule now at springhillac.com or call 615-778-8855.
Hey, Darren McFarland here, and I want to talk to you about my friends at Creation CBD. You hear me talk about them every single day because they present Darren, Donick, and Chase, and we are proud to be associated with them and happy about it. And if you have aches and pains, on your body, whether it's from working out, being active, getting older, and you're looking for a solution, well, I've got it. Creation CBD. Creation means healing, and that says a lot. Creation is locally and organically sourced CBD products right here in Middle Tennessee. From seed to final sell, Creation is passionate about providing quality products for everyday use, including your pets, and you've heard me tell this story. Our female German Shepherd has had seizures for over 3 years, and lots of them. No matter how many pills a day she was on, the vet visits, nothing changed. But since putting her on the pet tincture, everything has changed. The seizures have stopped, she's lost weight, and she's a dog again. Right now, Creation CBD has got a special offer for DDC listeners. Go to CreationCompany.com, get 25% off your order by using the code DDC25 at checkout. DDC25 at checkout for 25% off your Creation CBD products. It's Creation CBD, curated for life.
It's the official Bud Light Preds Watch Party as the Predators take on the Carolina Hurricanes this Sunday. Puck drops at 4, but the party starts at 3:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at Headquarters Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
We all know many of our neighbors have been hurting this week following the deadly tornadoes that ravaged both Kentucky and Tennessee early Saturday morning. All of us at 102.5 The Game and Cromwell Media are lending a helping hand to those in need through Blood Assurance, the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. Head over to thegamenashville.com/help to see how you can help today.
This is Stillman and Company. Delivered by TriStar Moving.
With how hard Roethlisberger has been to get on the ground over the years in terms of just throwing with guys hanging all over, how much can that tax the secondary to have to continue to cover as long, maybe longer?
I think he's changed the way he's played. I mean, I think that's still a factor. I mean, I don't think it is what it is. I mean, now he's not waiting to throw it deep. He's just throwing it deep, I don't know if he's extending the plays like he did now. Certainly his play strength has always been very good, but I think his deep ball accuracy is better, and the guys that he throws to, they have a really good understanding if it's going to be on the back shoulder or if he's going over the top, or those guys trying to create penalties down the field.
Did anybody in the local media this week ask Vrabel if he's worried about Big Ben getting back at him for the time that in the AFC Championship game in 2005 that Vrabel basically jumped on Big Ben with his feet?
Which is wild that that's when Vrabel is playing and Big Ben is still playing.
Do you know the play I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Rodney Harrison intercepted a ball. So the Steelers are 15-1. This was Ben's rookie year. The Steelers are 15-1. The Patriots are 14-2, and they go into Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship game. And Rodney Harrison picks a pass off, and there's two guys left on the play. Rodney's trying to run it in, and there's Vrabel running with Ben. So Vrabel blocks Ben and then kind of gets tripped over and just happens to step, or his knees, like both knees, go into Ben's chest.
Oh.
And I think Rodney ran it into the end zone for a touchdown, but I can't remember if that's what happened. But so I saw that a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, oh, I hope Ben doesn't try to get him back for this one. Then
He
again,
could
they
be
played
scheming this for the past 16 years.
They did play last year, so there was that. How embarrassed should the Titans be if they lose to Big Ben at this point in his career?
I mean, but we just spent so much time last segment talking about, like, yeah, Big Ben is old and it feels like a statue. He does not move around, but he can get the ball out really quickly, and he has receivers that can get there and be wherever he needs them to be. So would it necessarily be losing to Big Ben, or would it be the pieces that the Steelers have given Big Ben to accommodate for the fact that he literally cannot move?
I mean, Ben has always been a guy who just stands in the pocket and holds the ball, and now he throws the ball. I think you got to be a little embarrassed if you lose to Ben.
It's not a great look.
And their line stinks. Like, your line's bad, but their line's worse. Their line's terrible. And Bud Dupree returns. Should not lose to Big Ben. Let's go to your phone. 615-737-1025. Phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Kyle texts in and says, this game against the Steelers is by far the most important game of the season. While the Steelers aren't great, they are still capable of winning games. Our defense must come out and dominate from the beginning, or we could very well lose this game.
I do think whoever gets the bigger lead to start, like whoever gets a lead to start this game, I think is going to win. Like, I think that this is one of those ones where, given the lack of A.J. Brown, if the Titans were to get down 16-0 or 9-0 or something like that, I think they'd have a hard time coming back. I also think that if the Steelers get down, given their struggles on the offensive line and Ben's inability to want to hold the football before throwing it down the field, I think the Titans would be able to get home on a pass rush when they don't have to account for the running back. So I do think that a lead early would be a huge deal, with the texter's point about getting out in front, jumping out in front, finding a way to get the lead or something like that. I think would be absolutely astronomical for the Titans this week.
Ron texts in and says, okay, we have to watch TJ, but I believe the Steelers have more to fear about our defense than we fear theirs. Ben has probably the quickest release, but he's slow and not really mobile anymore.
So take Ben out of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers' offensive line's not very good. They got a good running back in Najee Harris, who I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
They've got a solid tight end, and they've got two speedsters at wide receiver. What bothers you the most?
The speedsters at wide receiver and a bad boy at running back and a pretty solid tight end.
I mean, to me, Deontay Johnson bothers me the most. If you tell me that Deontay Johnson doesn't go nuts in this game, then I think the Titans are going to win. But that's what bothers me the most. And you talk about Ben getting the ball out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Claypool is a run down the field speed wide receiver. Johnson is a throw it short, let him work on the corner and go wide receiver. And I worry about that more than I worry about Claypool with Ben just waiting, throwing it down the field. So that's my big thing here is, like, the reason Ben gets the ball out quickly is because Ben doesn't want to be sacked. So he's going to get the ball out quickly this week. Now, you played them last year, and the Titans had no pass rush last season, and the corners played like 15 yards off the wide receiver. So when the corner was playing 15 yards off the wide receiver, Ben just threw short every time, and it was like Ty Smith was out there for the Titans. And I think Deontay Johnson just kind of did whatever he wanted. Say it was 3rd and 11, they just threw it short, and he just picked up 13. And that cannot happen in the game on Sunday.
Keith from Bowling Green texting in and saying the Titans are still a year away from a Super Bowl.
Based off of what?
I don't know.
Here's the thing about how it works in the NFL. I think a lot of people think in life that you have this big window that opens, and that when the window opens, it's like, well, if we didn't get it this year, it's okay because next year's our year. But very rarely do fans understand how quickly the window closes or how hard it is to capitalize when the window is open. I mean, the Atlanta Braves had about a 10-year period where the window was wide open, and they won 1 World Series. Like, that's hard. And you got 10 years of it. When I was a kid, the Titans were 8-8 3 years in a row as the Oilers. They became the Titans, and they went to the Super Bowl. And I just thought they'd go right back to the Super Bowl, and this time they'd win it. They're the best team in the NFL, and they lost in the divisional round. And they had 2 more cracks at it, and they lost in the divisional round one year to the Patriots, and they lost in the AFC title game the next year to the Raiders. When the Predators got to the Cup final, everybody thought this was the opening of their window. They were the best team in the league. They lost in the second round. The next year, they weren't as good as people thought. The next year, they fired the coach. So the idea of, hey, next year, the Titans are going to have to rebuild their offensive line this offseason. That's hard. Especially when they're picking the guys on the offensive line that they've been picking. That's going to be hard to rebuild the line. Saffold's not coming back. Jones probably not coming back. Lawan should not come back. So now they're left with a right guard who is in and out of the lineup and a right tackle who should be on the practice squad. So you got to go get at least 4 guys on the offensive line. Julio Jones ain't getting any younger. Bud Dupree, Ryan Tannehill, Julio, cap numbers all kick in next year. So the idea of, hey, next year. I look at it this way. You've got a shot if you win out the rest of your games that I feel not comfortable saying you'll get the 1 seed because I don't know about New England. But I think you've got a shot to get that 1 seed. And that would mean 2 games at home at Nissan Stadium, 1 against either Baltimore, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Colts, and then 1 against New England or Kansas City at home, with the best running back in the league supposed to return. You got to take your shots when you get them. The St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf, they had a window. It was 3 years, and then it shut. By the 5th year of the window, Mark Bulger was the starting quarterback for the Rams. So, by the way, anyone going to go watch Kurt Warner's movie?
I kind of want to watch it to see how bad it is.
So, I mean, it looks like the production quality of Kurt Warner's movie does not look very good.
It looks like a Hallmark movie type of production
It
quality.
looks like a bunch of bullcrap.
It's the same thing that Kevin James movie about Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah, I'd be offended if I was Sean Payton.
And I saw this tweet that went viral, and it said, Kevin James looks unrecognizable as Sean Payton. Looks like Kevin James in a
Looks
visor.
like Kevin James dressed up as Sean Payton for Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, it's embarrassing. So this low-budget Kurt Warner movie is going to be in theaters. And at the same time, John Madden, the documentary, is going to come out on Fox. So you're telling me that I can either go pay money to watch a low-budget Kurt Warner movie, or I can sit on my couch and watch the John Madden documentary.
Also, in no disrespect to Kurt Warner, what has Kurt Warner done to elicit a movie?
So this is what my dad and I were talking about. I believe Kurt Warner, of my era of quarterbacks who have gotten into the NFL, so that's basically, or gotten into the Hall of Fame, it's basically starting at Elway. So like Elway, Marino, Warren Moon, go on the list. To Brady, Manning, Breeze, guys that are going to go to the Hall of Fame. Rodgers, Favre, like all that. I think Kurt Warner is the worst quarterback in my lifetime to make the Hall of Fame. Warren Moon is the only guy that you could argue is up there as well, but I think Warren Moon's better than Kurt Warner. So, to your point, like Elway doesn't have a movie. Marino doesn't have a movie.
Like, I'd love to watch a Manning
Ace Ventura,
movie.
But, like, Manning, Brady has a docuseries, so we'll take him to the side a little bit. Rodgers doesn't have a movie. I mean, I'm with you. What's Kurt Warner done? Like, Mahomes' career or Warner's career? Honestly, I think they're pretty close. They both won 1 Super Bowl. They both won an MVP. Like, they went to another Super Bowl.
I would take Mahomes' career, and it's still happening.
Like, right now. Like, without the future of Mahomes.
Yes, I would take it right now. But I guess that's recency bias, too, because I'm experiencing Patrick Mahomes' career, and I was 3 years old when Kurt Warner won his Super Bowl.
Ian, better quarterback, Kurt Warner or Patrick Mahomes?
I'll go Mahomes.
I will, too. So it's Warren Moon or Kurt Warner. Like, as far as the worst Hall of Fame quarterback of my lifetime.
And there is a movie in theaters.
Like Jim Kelly was better.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah. So to your point, like I'm not going to go pay money to watch a Kurt Warner movie. Chad Withrow, Outkick 360. He'll join us next with his thoughts on the Titans. But signing day in the books. Transfer portal day. It seems like continuing, but a little bit in the books. We'll get Chad's thoughts on that. And we'll do that next right here. Stillman and Company. It's ESPN 102.5 The Game.
The voice of reason.
Now, you may say, well, a quarterback is more important than a running back. That's fine. You can say whatever you want.
The voice of the fan.
Even if we have to develop him while he's playing, I just want a boring first-round pick.
The voice of Nashville sports is your home of Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Hey, Robbie Stanley here, and the NFL playoffs are almost here. And to help you stay on top of the action, FanDuel Sportsbook is giving you a $10 bonus when you place $20 in same-game parlay bets. Bet on a single game or spread your bets out across multiple matchups. It's up to you. As long as you bet $20 in same-game parlays during the same week of NFL action, you're getting a $10 bonus. The Titans taking on the Steelers this week. Give me Ryan Tannehill under on the passing yards. Give me the Titans on the money line as well. I think they grind this one out. But you take it any way you want to take it. This same-game parlay bonus is live during weeks 13, 14, and 15, so lock in some winners today and enjoy a $10 bonus on FanDuel. And if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up using promo code ROB to place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Once again, that promo code is ROB exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. A max bonus of $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
It's the holiday season, and there's no place like Smashville. We want you to grab your family and friends and head to Bridgestone Arena on December 21st to see your Predators in action against the Winnipeg Jets. Tickets are available at NashvillePredators.com/tickets. But don't wait. Get your tickets today. Grab your best friend, your neighborhood bartender, your granny, because it's hockey time in Smashville, and we're ready for you. It's your Nashville Predators in action against the Winnipeg Jets December 21st at 7 p.m. Buy your tickets now at NashvillePredators.com/tickets.
Do great prices and selection on trucks and SUVs still exist? They do in Truckville. Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville has the largest selection in Tennessee. And we keep getting fresh stock on our lots every day. We're committed to offering you our best price and a 5-star experience, which is why we're still known as the destination for trucks and SUVs. Come visit Truckville, Tennessee today in person or online at sarahnashville.com.
Touchdown, Boilermakers!
Witness tomorrow's NFL stars this month at the TransPerfect Music City Bowl.
First down, handoff, tailback, right up the middle to the 30. He's out of here. 20, to the 10, crank up Rocky Top. Touchdown, right up the middle.
Don't miss a second as Tennessee and Purdue, two of college football's top programs, go head-to-head on Thursday, December 30th at 2 p.m. inside Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's Stillman and Company. Delivered by TriStar Moving. TriStar Movers with 5-star service. With Jared Stillman on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Stillman and Company is delivered by TriStar Moving, ESPN 1025. The Game streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Thanks to the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Fireball Hot Take Friday, live from the Hillside Medical Game Studios. So apparently, poor Ian back there in the back, apparently we blew the phone lines up talking about the audacity that we had to be discussing why Kurt Warner gets a low-budget movie.
Somebody said this is the most idiotic moment of your life.
Of my life?
Yes. For saying that Kurt Warner doesn't deserve a movie.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a movie. I'm saying he doesn't deserve for me to pay money to go watch that movie. Like, I'm not interested in watching that movie. Are you?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'll have to be really bored to pay money to see a Kurt Warner low-budget Hallmark movie.
The only thing I'm saying is that I think of all the quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that played while I was watching football and alive. And Warren Moon really was done by the time I started watching football.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Warner's the worst, except for maybe Warren Moon. And I like Warren, but I'm just saying. Chad Withrow joins us, presented by Apple Collision Centers. Chad Withrow, Outkick 360, joins us on the program. Sorry about that on the Kurt Warner low-budget Hallmark movie discussion, but
Can I jump in on this real quick? Because
sure.
This fascinates me. So we had Kurt Warner on Outkick 360 to promote this movie, and I agree with you that it looks bad. Like, the whole thing just looks very low budget and not something I would watch. But I would also argue I don't know of a sports story that we all saw take place that was so highly publicized that I'd want to see as a dramatic motion picture that's acted out by other people. I can't even think of one that's good. You know, the good sports movies are the ones that are true stories that not everyone saw or we don't even know about, or something that's completely fictional. Like, what is the true story that we all saw that was turned into a good movie? Miracle might be the only one I can think about in the last 20 years. But not even everyone knew all those college kids that played for the U.S. Olympic hockey team that did that. So I would extend it out, Jared. Not only do I not want to pay money or see the Kurt Warner movie, I can't think of a single sports story that I want to see acted out that's not in documentary form.
I think that's a fair point. Like, I would say Remember the Titans might be, like, the number one of those kind of movies. Like,
but again, a true story no one knew about or no one saw, so that works.
That is true. Okay, yeah. Okay, sure.
If it's something that we know, we all know what Kurt Warner looks like. We all know the story, so I don't want to see someone acting as Kurt Warner in a dramatic, fluffy movie. But if I didn't know the story about some high school quarterback, maybe it would work. So I can't think of a single true sports story that I want to see acted out in dramatic form. If it's the Last Dance type documentary with something that we all saw and we all know what happened, I'm all for that. But I don't want to see any movie. I'll extend it out. Not just the Kurt Warner movie. I don't want to see any of them like that.
I think that's a fair point. Well, and I was just thinking about it. I'd rather go watch another 8-year-old pitch for the Chicago Cubs than watch, like a documentary about something, or not even like a sports dramatic movie about something that I already saw. Like, okay, I saw this in real life. Now you're going to tell me that he beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl? Hard pass. Chad Withrow with us on the program. So I do want your thoughts on this. Recruiting is everything in college football. We know it this week, obviously National Signing Day or the early signing period or whatever you want to call it. The NIL is now all involved. You got Deion Sanders basically buying the best player in the country away from his alma mater to go to Jackson State. But I thought the headline that I don't feel enough people are talking about, Texas A&M got the number 1 class in the country. Does this mean that we can expect Texas A&M to do more than always finish second, third, or fourth in the SEC?
I mean, they've got to play up to their talent to do that. But, yeah, I mean, I think that what we're seeing now is there really have emerged, maybe LSU figures it out, maybe Florida figures it out. But right now there are really 3 programs playing a different sport in the SEC, and that is Alabama, Georgia, and A&M. And what is the common denominator with those 3? It is the great Nick Saban. Those are 3 coaches that are of the Saban tree that understand fully how to play the recruiting game, and now they can do it over the table and not below the table. Because Nick Saban has long known how to cheat better than every other coach, and he knows how to get away with it. Kirby Smart learned from the great Nick Saban on how to do this. And I'm not begrudging them because every major coach cheats to some extent. They're just much better and smarter about it. But Jimbo Fisher's the exact same way. And what he's doing now at A&M with a school that's got the largest endowment in the SEC, even more than Vanderbilt because of all the oil money there, I think they're going to be top 5 nationally in recruiting as long as Jimbo Fisher's there. Kirby Smart, same way. And look, all 3 of those guys work extremely hard in recruiting. They are known as grinders in recruiting for a reason. But those 3 programs, I think, are going to recruit at a higher level than everyone else in the SEC unless Florida can get back in the mix. Brian Kelly at LSU, we'll see what he does. But I really do think that we're seeing this sort of triumvirate of great coaches in the Nick Saban tree that are going to out-recruit everyone, not just in the SEC, but nationally.
What do you make of the difference with signing day between the high school kids and the transfer portal kids? Like, for example, my school, Louisville, the coach is on the hot seat, and we went right after the transfer portal kids, and we got Tyon Evans, who's obviously pretty good from Tennessee. But I don't know if you can win a national championship or play with the big boys if you can't get the best players out of high school. So what do you see kind of the difference between these recruiting classes, and how do you value the transfer portal in all of this?
I think that someone can go from the bottom to the middle or the middle to the bottom of the top just through transfers.
Sure.
Right? So let's look at Michigan State, for example. You know, I think what Mel Tucker's done with transfers and sort of creating this transfer you mentality, I think you can go from the middle where Michigan State was to the bottom of the top. I don't think you're going to win national titles, to your point, Jared, with just transfers. It's a strategic balance of both. You know, you look at Jamison Williams coming over from Ohio State to Alabama. Well, that's a great addition for Alabama, a team that might win a national title. You're going to see cases like that at the highest level where top programs are going to get the right transfers. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, they're going to land a transfer quarterback. We don't know who it is yet, but their starting quarterback next year will be a transfer. So I think the smart coaches will know that 75, 80% at least of your roster needs to be high school recruiting that you develop and you try to keep on your roster. And then you sprinkle in some high-level recruits that help immediately where you need help. And I think that's how you get a lot better. But ultimately, you know, the programs that are going to win national titles and play in the college football playoff are the ones like Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State that are going to get the top high school players in America year in, year out.
Chad Withrow with us, Outkick 360, presented by Apple Collision Centers. What did you make of the first true NIL signing day?
I think we start to see now where it's going because everyone was very confused when it started. So before this season, when it was legal, I knew that it would be a slow start to it where things started to trickle in. You didn't have this huge boom of all these guys signing high-dollar contracts, but for instance, the Tom Brady thing. You know, Tom Brady's launching a fashion line called Brady, and he's got 9 athletes that he signed up for NIL deals. Well, guess what? One of them is Cade McNamara, the quarterback at Michigan. Well, okay, now I can suddenly see Peyton Manning doing an NIL program for Omaha Productions, his production company. So what's to stop Peyton Manning from paying Arch Manning $2 million to shoot an ESPN Plus documentary about his time at the University of Tennessee? Or going to the starting quarterback at Tennessee, whoever that may be, and paying them money. So, you know, that's just one foot in the door that you see with Tom Brady. Other bigger companies are going to get involved, but I think what alums can do that own companies is really where you're going to start to see, okay, now that's where recruiting comes into it, and you can promise guys a lot of money to come in and make that money through them. And how cool is it if you're Cade McNamara or anyone at Michigan or any of these schools, and you got Tom Brady's fashion line giving you clothes and money to endorse them. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. Certainly a win for Michigan.
When do you think this becomes like baseball in the 90s where it's like, oh, he's a good player. The Royals and the Pirates can't afford him anymore, but Steinbrenner will pay him and you get him to the Yankees, and you almost turn that in. Like, at what point you brought up the Peyton Manning thing, when do the A&M oil boosters just take over college football? And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he was a good quarterback at Missouri, but the A&M oil boosters gave him $8 million to transfer after his sophomore year to go to A&M and play quarterback.
I think that it's always been that way with the top programs to an extent. And look, also the top programs recruit themselves. People say, we don't have to pay money there. Well, you do, because if you want to win with the guy who's wanting money throughout, for the last 70 years, then you're going to have to ante up and pay more than the next guy. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that, but I really think it takes it's the full infrastructure, right? So it's not just good enough to be A&M and have the oil money when Kevin Sumlin was your coach. That's not going to win over every recruit over Alabama or Georgia. But when suddenly you can get Jimbo Fisher aligned with the oil money, aligned with Texas A&M leadership and Ross Bjork, their AD, well, now you got something. When you get Kirby Smart at Georgia, an alum, and you get all the big money there aligned with the university administration, you got something. We've seen it with Nick Saban in Alabama. It's been the perfect marriage of fan base, of booster, of administration, of everything, and it's helped the school become a top 25 public school in the country, not just football and not just athletics. So I think it's going to take everyone aligned to do it, but we will start to see a little bit more of that where you're going to see a lot of recruits that have a Final Five of the obvious programs that are offering more in NIL and, quite frankly, offering more in terms of potential of winning a national title.
Impressed with Josh Heupel's first full recruiting class?
Very impressed with his first full recruiting class for this reason. He had 2 guys from the state of Tennessee, and that should be a reason to criticize him, but they finished top 15 nationally with only 2 guys from in-state. So I think that's a great sign. And Josh Heupel said it. They struggled most with the NCAA talk with in-state kids because high school coaches and kids in-state talk more about Tennessee than out-of-state. So they were more successful with Georgia kids or Florida kids or their quarterback coming in from Indianapolis because they weren't talking all the time about Tennessee and all the NCAA problems. And I think next year they're going to do a lot better in-state. But, yeah, I think it's very encouraging. I thought getting in the top 20 would be a small miracle for this class considering where they started. So finishing top 15, I think is great for Josh Heupel and really his first full-year recruiting class.
Big weekend of the NFL to get to. Titans and Steelers. Big game tomorrow with the Titans as far as they're concerned with the Patriots and the Colts. Chiefs win yesterday because of analytics. We'll get Chad's thoughts on all that coming up next here on Stillman and Company. Focus sparkling water with a spark, naturally energizing sparkling water. It is caffeinated water. It's that natural tea caffeine, so it's not the sugar and the calories and the crash and all of that. No, it's the real stuff. And my friends at Focus this weekend, based out of Kentucky, they raised $160,000. $160,000. That's right. $160,000 for the tornado victims. I absolutely love my friends at Focus. Guess what? It's now in Nashville. Go to drinkfocus, PHOCUS.com to find their full lineup of flavors, and they got new ones coming out every single day, and get it delivered right to your door. Enter promo code GAME, G-A-M-E, at checkout for 15% off your first order. Focus is also available at your local Publix, so go to Publix, grab a Focus, and give it a try. And if you're an energy drink person or you're somebody who needs a little caffeine on the go ahead and give Focus a try. I think it's pretty good. Focus sparkling water with a spark. My guys at Focus. Again, that's PHOCUS on the web at drinkfocus.com.
Landry lighting them up for Tennessee. Will the Titans defense make life difficult Sunday for Big Ben?
Najee Harris, touchdown Steelers.
Or will a desperate Steelers team get the best of the Titans?
Okay, that's horrible.
Tune in all day Monday for full reaction to Titans Steelers. We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's the end of the year blowout sale at Social Furniture. Closing out on Ashley's Furniture with up to 70% off. First come, first served on the best selection of furniture. Social Furniture has truckloads after truckloads of furniture with 100 loads of closeouts, samples, canceled orders, and discounted orders of Ashley Furniture. All on sale here at Social Furniture. $300 nightstands now $99. $1,000 Ashley mattress now $300. $200 bar stools now for $59. $1,000 sofas now $499, and recliners starting at $299. The best part is there's no waiting. Take your new furniture home today with Social Furniture's same-day delivery. They have 12 months same as cash. Hurry up and come down to Social Furniture's end-of-the-year blowout sale before it's gone. Visit Social Furniture on the west side at 5412 Charlotte Avenue or on the web at mysocialfurniture.com.
BetOnline.net has you covered all season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues the march to the playoffs. BetOnline.net remains your number one spot for all the sports info, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just football. BetOnline.net has up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even live scores of games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
Hey, it's Jared for TriStar Moving. If you're looking to move, you need to give my friends at TriStar Moving a call. At TriStar Moving, you'll get 5-star service throughout the entire process. Everything will be taken care of, from covering your floors, banisters, railings, front door thresholds, furniture, TVs, and more. They took great care of my move and made it as stress-free as possible. If you're looking to move, give TriStar Moving a call, 615-640-1219, or visit them at nashvillemoving.org/radio and get 5% off your entire move. TriStar Moving, my official movers.
Wesley had IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Coming after my house, my car. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
Oh, they were great people. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you've missed any of today's show, just search Stillman and Company on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
Chad Withrow with us, Outkick 360. That's right. Joining us on the program, presented by Apple Collision Centers, online at applecollisioncenters.com. So the NFL this weekend, they say they're going to play games on Monday. They say they're going to play some games on Tuesday, which I actually, well, I'm not, the COVID stuff and the having to play quarterbacks I've never heard of or things I don't really like. I do like the fact that we'll have Tuesday night football because I enjoy it. But big game tomorrow for the Titans, Patriots and Colts. And as we said earlier today, you got to root for the Colts so the Titans can get the 1 seed. Indianapolis is favored. But I have a problem with this because I think Frank Reich and Carson Wentz aren't the smartest decision makers, and Bill Belichick is. Chad, how much are you with Vegas and the sharps on this, or the betting public, that has moved the line from Indy -1 to Indy -2.5, plus the fact that how badly the Titans need Indy to win this game?
Yeah, I think that we're shortchanging the Patriots in this game. I think maybe we're thinking a little too highly of the Colts. The Colts are one of those weird teams that, it's almost like, do they deserve our love? Like, I know you're a little bit stronger on them than most people do it. I don't think they're quite as bad as you make them out to be, listening to your show. But I also don't know that they're deserving of the love that we in the media or many in the media have for them. And I'd say the same about the Patriots many years. But no, I think that we're shortchanging the Patriots. I think the Patriots are better. I think the Patriots win this game. I think the Patriots, help wrap up this division for the Titans, if you're looking at it from that perspective. But I don't think the Colts are helping the Titans in terms of getting the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. I think the Patriots win this game.
Do you think the Titans will get the number 1 seed? And do you think the Titans, if they don't? We saw Kansas City last night. I thought that, honestly, the Chargers coach, I think he was chasing points all night. I know analytics, but, is 4th and goal from the 5 a good analytic call? I don't know. But the Chiefs did win. I don't think the Titans can go on the road to Kansas City and New England and win both games in the playoffs this year. One of those or both would have to be at home. Do you think the Titans can win on the road in the playoffs if they end up not getting the number 1 seed?
Well, I don't think they're going to get the number 1 seed for the first part of that. And then the second part is just how healthy Derrick Henry is. Because with a healthy Derrick Henry, they can absolutely go on the road and beat anyone. Without Derrick Henry close to 100% and A.J. Brown back, then no, they're not a team that could go on the road and win. And I agree on the Staley stuff on the 4th and goal from the 5. Look, I'm all for analytics being a part of it. I like that he's bold and, he goes for it more often than not. I like new thinking in the NFL, definitely a fan of that. But I do think that there are times where if 99.8% of all coaches at every level throughout the history of football would take the points on the opening drive at 4th and goal from the 5 and kick the field goal, that's probably because it's the smart thing to do. So I do think you can overthink the analytics part of it at times. And I like what he does for the most part, but I don't think you let it dictate your entire coaching philosophy. And I thought last night that was a moment of that happening on that opening drive where I thought he should have taken the points, and I'm sure the game would have been played out differently had he done that. But still, those 3 points would have been pretty big because it would have been 31-28 at the end of the game and not been going to overtime.
I saw you tweet out last night after the game, you think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Why would you put them ahead of, say, the Patriots?
Because the Chiefs were the team of the Super Bowl a year ago, and, they were the team of the Super Bowl the year before, having won it the year before. And with all of the negative talk about the Chiefs earlier, and look, there was reasons to doubt the Chiefs. They were awful when they were here in Nashville, that team we saw the Titans beat. They were really bad at that point in the season. They figured a lot of things out on defense. They've got guys coming back healthy. They're winning games despite Patrick Mahomes throwing no touchdown passes at times, which is just crazy to me. I'm in disbelief that a Chiefs team, the way they're built, could do that. So the defense has given me a lot of faith in this Chiefs team. The way they won last night, I mean, that was a game they absolutely should not have won, and they found a way to get it done in overtime. I'm taking the Chiefs until proven wrong. I think they're the best team in the AFC, and I think that's what's going to happen come playoff time.
Chad Withrow's with us, Outkick 360, presented by Apple Collision Centers. Do you think that the Titans should have any business losing to the Steelers on Sunday? Right now, Vegas has it as a pick-em. I am torn because after the Steelers got completely embarrassed on Thursday Night Football and then almost scored 30 points in the fourth quarter, I know with their season on the line, and this is probably Ben's last year, and Tomlin's going to have him ready to play, and I just feel like ever since Derrick Henry got hurt after the Rams game, the Titans have been playing these games kind of sleepwalking through them. I'm really worried about the Steelers on Sunday. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think Vegas sees that. I think if everything is equal, and by equal I mean one team doesn't turn it over the way the Titans turned it over for the 9-0 turnover margin those back-to-back weeks, if both teams play it safe and don't turn the ball over, I think it's a 20-17 game or 17-13 game one way or the other, the way both these teams play. I mean, the ultimate X factor, it sounds cliche, but it is turnovers and who wins the turnover margin in this game. But I think the way both these teams play, it's destined to be a low-scoring game. Ben Roethlisberger just doesn't have it anymore. The Titans' defense is good. They're playing well right now. What can Zach Cunningham give them this week is a big question mark that I have for the Titans' defense. But I think if both teams play it safe and don't turn it over, it's a low-scoring field goal game one way or the other.
Did you think that the Titans right now, did you think they did enough against Jacksonville on Sunday? Because we kind of got in this argument, 20-0's 20-0, but I've never seen a team as downtrodden and tails in between their legs like the Jags were with all the urban drama that was still going on at that point. And Ian brought up a point, on Monday. He said, I thought they should have scored 14 more points. And that's got me a little nervous that after that Rams game, the Titans really haven't played great football.
Well, they haven't played great offense because let's just face the facts. They don't have a good offense. Their offense was Derrick Henry. And without Derrick Henry, I mean, it is really difficult to get yards for the Titans. Let's go back to their big plays. First off, they don't throw the ball deep. They don't even try it. I want to see some of that against Pittsburgh. But you've got, on the first drive, a Ryan Tannehill scramble. That's a big gain, and he gets hit late for a 15-yard penalty at the end of it. That's one of the big plays. Then a well-designed tight end screen to Jeff Swain. That's a big gain. I mean, this is how creative the Titans have to get to find big chunk plays and yards in their offense. Offense just isn't good right now. I think it was a very boring game on Sunday because the Titans are bad on offense, and the Jags are just all-time horrendous on both sides of the ball. I'm with Ian that the Titans should have scored more points, but I also look up and say, it's just going to be tough. It's going to be tough to generate points and yards for this Titans offense until they get Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown back, or at least one of the two.
Chad Withrow, last thing for you. Your reaction to Urban Meyer this week, and is Urban Meyer's next stop going to be Outkick?
So Urban Meyer and Dan Dockich are best buds, as many people may know now. And Dan swears that Urban is a huge Outkick fan and a huge Dan Dockich fan and a huge Clay Travis fan. He wants to do a show on Outkick. I would welcome it. I mean, that would be must-watch to just see what Urban Meyer would say about the whole Jacksonville thing. Well, we know he's not going to work in the NFL. I still believe that most college programs would want him to coach for them, given his college track record, because ultimately all that matters is winning, and he has won everywhere he's been in college. My takeaway from it is, I mean, Urban Meyer basically did everything possible. If you had a checklist of everything to do to get fired in the middle of your first season, then he did everything to get fired in the middle of his first season. I also, I'm not going to sit here and try to treat the Jacksonville players like a bunch of conquering heroes for a group that all they know is losing. I don't know that they're the best gauge and barometer of what works in the NFL, so I don't fully take their opinion on everything. I think the Lambeau story is crazy and didn't happen the way Lambeau said. It just doesn't make any sense. I think it was probably a poor attempt at humor by Urban Meyer that went sideways on him. But yeah, I mean, he deserved to be fired, and you're not going to find many media members that are crying over Urban Meyer the way he's treated media and just people in general in his life. So yeah, that's my full takeaway on Urban Meyer.
I will volunteer my services to work for Outkick if I get to co-host a show every day with Urban Meyer.
I think you need someone challenging Urban Meyer too, and Dan is just such an Urban buddy and apologist that you might not get that. But I think the stories they could tell, and Dan Dockich is the only guy who's ever gotten a good side out of Urban Meyer that I've ever heard from. Right? So can he make Urban Meyer charismatic and a great storyteller and funny and likable? I think that would be the great challenge of a Dan Dockich Urban Meyer show. So yeah, I would definitely watch.
Although I will say this about Urban. When he was on Fox, he wasn't bad. Like, as far as watching TV on a pregame show, like, I thought Urban was kind of insightful. Like, I knew he was, Urban, but I didn't mind him on TV. But now I feel like he's done so much damage, they won't even put him back on TV right away.
Yeah. He was insightful, but not likable, right? Still not charismatic, likable, but insightful. Like, I would think you'd see a different side at some point where, now I get it. Nick Saban, for instance. I mean, you see Nick Saban in interviews at times, and on television, say, okay, now I get it. This guy, he could be easy to get along with in the right settings. I've just never seen that with Urban Meyer.
Although I will say this, Nick Saban is more likable than Urban Meyer, and I do feel like, with Saban, you can find people pretty quickly that'll tell you, oh, yeah, Saban's great, that kind of thing. And to your point, Dan Dockich is the one person in America who will vouch for Urban Meyer. And
the only
Urban's
person.
daughter.
The only person in his family, which is great. I mean, it's good that your family likes you, and that's what ultimately matters more than anyone. If they like you and have nice things to say, then who's everyone else to say anything? But find me someone else, another coach, anyone that says great, glowing things about Urban Meyer other than Tim Tebow, who's never said a bad thing about any human on the planet. And that's it. You can't find them other than Dan Dockich and Tim Tebow.
To your point, I lived a life where, Bobby Petrino and apologizing for Bobby Petrino was part of it. And once Bobby Petrino kind of left again, there is nobody within that program or anywhere that will say a nice thing about Bobby Petrino. And I think that's kind of where Urban is, albeit more successful than Bobby Petrino. Appreciate you, Chad. As always, we'll talk soon.
It's always fun. Thanks.
Yep, Chad Withrow joining us on the program presented by Apple Collision Center's Outkick 360. I like my job. I'm not trying to go work for Outkick, but if it was like a Jared and the GM style show with me and Urban, do you think it would be entertaining?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I'd call him on his bullcrap.
I think Urban Meyer with insert anyone would be entertaining.
Insert anyone who's going to look at him and be like, no, Urban, that's bullcrap. And that is what you need.
I think it would be 3 or 4 hours long, however long your show would be, of just berating each other. And I'm here for it.
Maybe, but eventually you have to move on past that stuff. You have to talk about current events. But if Urban were to say things like, yeah, here's what I think Mike Tomlin should do. Be like, oh yeah, You know, Urban?
Yeah, because what did you do, Urban?
You know I used to work with somebody that took a team to the Super Bowl. They were 1 yard away.
And then he would say,
it.
"You've never coached it down a football in your life."
Well, I'll say this, Urban. I've argued for 4 hours on the radio with somebody, and I'm willing to argue with that person, and they were 1 yard away from winning the Super Bowl. So, you were a lot of yards away from winning the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. ESPN 1025, The Game in Music City Man Cave. Want to treat one lucky listener to a Mana Stay treatment package. Text CAVE, C-A-V-E, now to 615-737-1025 and be entered for your chance to win the Music City Man Cave Christmas giveaway. 6-pack picks coming up next. It's ESPN 1025, The Game.
Hey, this is Matt Duchene, and this is Smashville.
Here's Duchene breaking in. He scores! Matt Duchene wins it in double overtime!
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators Radio Network, ESPN 1025, The Game.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the don't sell without the intel and the guaranteed offer guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
This holiday season, head into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest gifts from TaylorMade and Bushnell, featuring the P790 irons with speed foam air technology and tungsten weighting to give you more distance. And don't miss these hot gifts from Bushnell, like the Tour V5 and the Tour V5 Shift with pin seeker technology, or the Wingman with Bluetooth and audible GPS for distance. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online for the holidays at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Your home value is way up. Why not use it to make your home even nicer with a new kitchen or bathroom? Hey, Willie here. So many of our listeners are doing this with Loan Pronto, thanks to their zero-cost cash-out refi program. Call Loan Pronto now. They're fast-tracking home refis for the year-end, and people are getting checks for $60, $70, $100 grand or more. It's fast and easy. It's your money, money you can use to add even more value to your home. Imagine 2022 with that all-new luxurious kitchen you've been dreaming about. Or start building that pool so it's going to be ready for the summer. Call Loan Pronto now. See how easy it is to use the equity in your home and walk away with the big check. They can even pay your closing costs, and you can skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
This is Stan Harrison, CEO of Apple Collision Centers. We understand that no one likes to deal with auto body repair and the inconvenience it becomes in your day-to-day life. I want to personally invite you to stop by and let our experienced staff see how we can help you make your vehicle look good as new. Apple Collision Center has 3 convenient locations: Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, ready to serve you. Come by and see us or visit us online at applecollisioncenters.com.
You want to know what makes me LeBron? Sleep. That's right. Sleep is my superpower. And Calm, the #1 app for sleep, is essential to activating that power. From the sound of rain falling on leaves to bedtime sleep stories, Calm puts me to sleep within minutes, which means I wake up ready for any challenge. Because greatness lies on the other side of sleep.
For 40% off a Calm premium subscription, go to calm.com/LJ. That's calm.com/LJ. Sunday afternoon.
The Blue Raiders, 6 for 6 from the field to start this one.
The MTSU Blue Raiders are at the Glass House in Murfreesboro for a showdown with Coastal Carolina. Coverage begins at 1:30
on ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is new Vanderbilt head coach Jerry Stackhouse. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Six-pack picks presented by Pella Windows and Doors, and a Predators game day also presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Left on the slate today, Predators taking the squad to Chicago for a game tonight. Ian, how did we do last week in six-pack picks?
Okay, last week, Jared, 3-3 on the week. Season total now at 47-36-1. Caroline, 2-4 last week, now at 33-50-1 on the season.
Just how I like it.
Great.
Caroline, back to stinking it up.
You got one more win than I did. Hush up over there.
I know, but you heard the difference in the season.
Yeah, I heard the difference in the season. Thank you for the reminder.
I mean, right now, I'm the Predators.
I take it week by week.
And you're Arizona.
Don't you dare
Time
coyote me.
for six-pack picks presented by Pella Windows and Doors.
Okay, a little different music this week to start. 7:15, Saturday night, NFL Network. Patriots at the Colts. Talked about this game some today. Over under 45.5. And right now it is Colts minus 2.5.
I'll go first. Give me Belichick. I will take Bill to get it done. I think Wentz and Reich will screw it up. I think Jonathan Taylor will be ineffective because of Bill Belichick. Mac Jones, no mistakes. Give me Belichick to cover the 2.5.
I'm taking the Patriots, too. I said it earlier in the show. There's really only one way that Indianapolis can win this game, and it's Jonathan Taylor. And I find several different ways the Patriots can win this game. Whenever I bet against Bill Belichick, I regret it. So give me Bill and the Pats.
Okay, moving on to CBS. A little bit of afternoon action. We will start. Bengals at the Broncos, 3:05 CBS. Over-under on this game is 44. Denver, minus 3.
I'm going to take Cincinnati here. And I don't know exactly why. I mean, Cincinnati's defense has not looked horrendous this season. And Denver's offense also has not been completely horrendous this season. So I think it's going to be a good game. But I ultimately take Joe Burrow in this one. So give me the Bengals. Minus 3, did you say, Ian?
Denver minus 3, correct.
I'll take the Bengals plus 3.
I'll take Denver. And the reason I'm going to go with Denver is simply because I think that for Cincinnati, young team, first experience, Denver's very hard to play in. I think Denver's a very physical team, a tough team, and I thought that the Bengals got out-willed at home last week by the 49ers. I think it was a physical game, so I'm going to take Denver.
Okay, reluctantly, we'll have to pick this game as the Cleveland Raiders game has been moved and does not currently have a line. 3 games without a line due to the rescheduling of the COVID. So we will have 3:05 CBS, maybe some NFC wild card. No, I'm not going to go that low. Falcons at the 49ers. Over under 46.5. San Francisco minus 9.5.
I'll take San Francisco minus 9.5. Atlanta flying to the West Coast. Arthur's doing the best he can with that group. But San Francisco, I think, is getting a little bit better. And they had a big win in overtime. Jimmy G still stinks. Jawan Jennings actually playing pretty well for San Francisco. I'll take the Niners in this one. And I think if you're a Titan fan, you root for the Niners to win big. Maybe they get a little cocky. They got a long flight. And second time this year, you'll get Dean and Arthur going up against somebody. Third time. And you'll kind of get to look at how they attack them. So I think that'll be good for the Titans, but I'll take San Francisco.
And I hate agreeing with you yet again, but I'm going to take San Francisco as well. That's a really big spread, but I think the 49ers season, their trajectory has only gone up, and the Falcons are just trying to stay above water until they get to the end of the season. I think San Francisco is way too physical and way too talented on both sides of the ball, and I think they're going to be able to beat down the Falcons.
Okay, moving to our afternoon game on Fox, 3:25. Packers at the Ravens. Interesting game here, maybe. Over-under, pretty low, 43.5. Green Bay, minus 6.5.
And Lamar on Sunday is still questionable. So I'm going to take Green Bay. I would have taken Green Bay even if Lamar was playing in this game, even if he was for sure on Sunday. I mean, the Ravens have just been struck by the injury bugs so many times this season, and it's injuries that are out for the entire season. And I think Green Bay knows that they are fighting for a top spot in the NFC, so give me Green Bay.
I'll take Green Bay, too. I think this is the game where the Ravens really get exposed as a phony to the rest of the country in the AFC.
Okay, not a super great Sunday night game, but it is a divisional matchup. Sunday night, 7:20 NBC, Saints at the Bucks, over under 45.5. Pretty big line here. Tampa Bay minus 11.5.
This is like the reason it's a Sunday night game is because they're just trying to get Tom Brady on Sunday Night Football. It's like, we need Tom Brady on TV more. Get Brady on TV. I will take the Buccaneers. I think that last week. Now, Arians tried to screw it up last week. I just think the Saints are so downtrodden, so injured, so donezo. I think that Brady gets it done. And I think that Tampa Bay is starting to round into playoff form. I would not want to play them if I was one of those NFC contenders. Give me Tampa Bay.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay as well. Sean Payton out of this game, not coaching this game on Sunday. I think this is a crazy stat, but if Tom Brady wins on Sunday against the Saints, this will be his first regular season win against the Saints. So I think that Tom Brady gets it done.
All right, that brings us to our final game. Titans at the Steelers, noon, CBS, over-under, pretty low, 43. Pittsburgh, it has moved to Pittsburgh minus 1.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the Titans. I think the Titans are going to win this one, and I think that both of these teams can be so similar because I worry about this offensive line and protecting Ryan Tannehill against this Pittsburgh Steelers defensive front. But I think Steelers fans could say the exact same thing about their team, that they're worried about their offensive line protecting their quarterback, especially with Bud Dupree getting back into the lineup. But I think the Titans know how important this game is, and the Steelers are just trying to stay alive in the playoff picture, but the Titans are fighting for that top spot in the AFC. Give me the Titans. I think it'll be a close one, though.
That is a shocker. So the line has moved from Titans minus 2 to Steelers minus 1.
It was a pick-em just a few hours ago, and it has switched to minus 1.
The money's coming in on the Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers. I don't trust Titans. And I think this is the last game before they get A.J. Brown back, and then I think the Titans will look like the Titans. But I think the Titans are going to blow a golden opportunity here to win this game, keep pace with New England, keep pace with Kansas City. I just don't trust the Titans enough. I want to trust the Titans. I do, but I can't. I think the Titans are going to go in there. I think they're going to turn the football over against the Steelers. I think Tomlin's going to have them ready to play after they got embarrassed, after they got really embarrassed against Minnesota on Sunday Night Football, the games in Pittsburgh where the Titans have never really played well. To me, I'm taking the Steelers to beat the Titans. I'll go Steelers 24, Titans 20. So I'll take the Steelers. Predators game day is next. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. They're proud supporters of the Nashville Predators. You see that Hiller logo right there on the ice at Bridgestone Arena, and there's a giant sign right when you walk in. Plus, they're proud supporters of the Tennessee Volunteers and proud supporters of the Vanderbilt Commodores as well. Hiller is giving away cash for the holidays, so they're celebrating from now until the end of the year with special deals. They want to make sure every child experiences the joy of Christmas, and they're donating $50 in toys to Toys for Tots with every tankless water heater purchase, and giving away a $250 Visa gift card with each unit. Get a $500 Visa gift card when you buy select new HVAC systems, or get a $500 Visa gift card with the purchase of any new whole home generator. More specials are online at happyhiller.com. As always, happy you will be, or your service is free. These deals are only available until the end of the year, so schedule today.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
Cloudy skies for the remainder of the evening hours, and looking at the rain to continue in an off and on manner. We'll look for more rain on the way. Some heavy pockets possible Saturday with highs in the 60s and falling. I'm Fox 17 Chief Meteorologist Kim Morgan.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the happy face truck today.
closer, bolder, golden. Nashville SC Stadium is arriving in 2022, and season tickets are on sale now. With just 150 feet between the pitch and the last row, you'll be right there in the action no matter where you sit. If you thought soccer in Nashville was a party already, you ain't seen nothing yet. So come on in, grab a seat, and stay a while as we open a new era of Nashville sports. For more information on season tickets at the new Nashville SC Stadium, visit nashvillesc.com/22tix.
Due to overwhelming response, Genesis Diamond's amazing holiday finance offer has been extended. Now through Christmas Eve, you can enjoy 5 years, 0 interest on any holiday purchase. Everyone's loving this because it makes it easy to splurge this holiday season. A $6,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $100 a month with nothing down. You can even include the sales tax. At Genesis, we have all the most popular gifts: rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, pearls, and a spectacular selection of designer jewelry you won't find anywhere else. Names like Tacori, Viraggio, Kirk Cara, unique, one-of-a-kind, fashion-forward designs. So let our non-commissioned diamond experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Get the guaranteed best Genesis price, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 whole years. Make this one unforgettable Christmas with help from Genesis Diamonds. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit, see store for details.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
In 2007, Marine First Lieutenant Travis Manion was killed in Iraq after saving his wounded teammates. Travis's legacy lives on through the words he spoke before his final deployment. If not me, then who? Words that today fuel the spirit of Travis Manion Foundation. And through TMF, these words can live in you too. Show the world what you're made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at travismanion.org.
Hey, it's Jared Stillman. We all know many of our neighbors have been hurting this week following the deadly tornadoes that ravaged both Kentucky and Tennessee early Saturday morning. All of us at 1025 The Game and Cromwell Media are lending a helping hand to those in need through Blood Assurance, the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. Head over to theGameNashville.com/help to see how you can help today.
You're listening to Stillman and Company, delivered by TriStar Moving.
It's Hockey Night in Smashville.
Deflects back for Duchesne. His shot stop and the score!
What are the keys to victory tonight? What's being said in the locker room? Where do the Preds reside in the Central Division standings? Jared Stillman has the latest now. With Preds Game Day on Stillman and Company. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. This is Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Predators Game Day presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. The Nashville Predators on the road at the Chicago Blackhawks at the United Center, Ryan Porth's new home, with a 7:30 puck drop. The Predators 18-10-1, good for 37 points. The Blackhawks 11-15-2, good for 24 points. And it does not look as if there are any lineup changes today for the Predators as far as the roster is concerned. So all the guys that are on the COVID list will stay on the COVID list. I assume they probably didn't even travel. And all the guys that joined the team yesterday are with the team today. So expect to see guys like Cole Smith or Cole Shorewood or Rocco Grimaldi or you name it. They may be out there today for the Predators. However, the Predators got that big win last night against Colorado, so they will try to do it again. Let's go to the coach's take. Here is acting head coach Carl Taylor.
You can always find excuses or reasons for failure or things that can distract you from where you're trying to go. And I think winners and a strong group, and obviously this the staff has done a good job building the culture here. This is a team that is strong right now. Their core is strong. Doesn't matter what occurs or what is happening. This is a group that is focused on moving ahead. and not letting anything affect them. So for me, I thought the team played very well. They stuck to their core values. We were heavy on the forecheck, played a disciplined game, and had timely scoring. So as a group, I really feel the guys received Scott and I, and also Scott Nickel on the bench, and they just went about their business. We were trying to stay out of the way and help where we could, but allow them to do the things that make them the special group they are.
Great coaching from Carl Taylor last night. We would expect David Riddick in net against the Blackhawks. Take a look at the standings. The Predators are skyrocketing. 29 games played. They're in second place, tied with St. Louis with 37 points. 3 points behind Minnesota, also with 29 games played. Who knows what's going to happen with a potential stoppage or whatever with upcoming games. But right now, that's where the Predators sit at 37th. St. Louis is tied for second. Colorado 1 point behind. Winnipeg 31 points, 28 games played. Dallas 28 and Chicago 24. Arizona sitting at 12. So tonight, the Nashville Predators will take on the Blackhawks and look to grab another 2 points as they continue their 6-game winning streak, and they will have another one if it's played. Who knows what's going to happen with the NHL if that game is played on Sunday at Carolina. That's going to do it for us. We are out of here. We are back Monday at 2 o'clock. Pregame show Sunday at 9:30. Moneyline coming up next. Preds pregame is at 6:30.